Yeah, because I tell you what, if Belpost Hill can win today and just happen to get over Thompson next week and get to the grand final, you can bet London to a brick that Young will go straight back to Whitney.
Well, it'd be a fair chance. You're absolutely.
Is that where Timmy Barton and Jack Yates come in and just sort of help him out a bit?
Well, sometimes you do it the first time and it works for you. Now they've shown their hand. They might just do something completely different with Dill Whitney. If he's going to be that bloke to go, they might take him to full back and let Dill Whitney play out of the square by himself and just throw them right out, and that might change things around.
Is Tari that smart?
Well,
he's going to kill me.
He might when he gets to the replay tomorrow and doesn't listen to it. But yeah, look, that's what I'd be probably doing. As I said, it's probably going to happen. Just got to take the opposition player back to where he's not comfortable, to be honest. That's what's going to have to happen. So
in the earlier game this year, we saw Zach Smith and Jake Watson-Searle hardly got involved in the game. They were completely cut off, but they weren't active and leading and vibrant themselves. But Belpost Hill seemed to chop off the supply. They're both important players. Who of those solid Belpost Hill defenders, Grubby, do you think Zach Smith will get? Because he's a difficult player to match up on, isn't he?
Yeah. I know exactly who he'll get because I was talking to him before, but I forget his name. He told me he had Zach Smith, and I can't remember his name. It's gone blank.
Is it Tommy Blackavento, do you think?
No, I talked to him for about 20 minutes. I'll get it in a minute. I'll remember it in a minute.
Cabby basically won't go to him because that takes away one of their better.
I would have remembered his name, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I know. I really would have thought so. Wouldn't be Sammy Quinn.
No, it wasn't Quinny. Oh, I can't remember. I'm going until I think about it. Keep going, I'll think about it. But look, I'll tell you whose job's so important today. You know you're going to get something from Smith and Searle on the ground. The big fella, Caleb Izard's got to take some marks. Last week here, I thought Tommy Bath out-positioned him and out-moved him 3 times and took marks over him. And that's not Tommy Bath's natural game. But he was able to do it. So this fella's he's only a young fella. But I think if he takes a couple and then shares some with Smith and Watson-Searle, they'll be damn dangerous. But I think he's got a big job to do today.
The one I thought was a chance to really have an impact because Smith would draw a lot of attention is Watson-Searle. His goal numbers have been down on last year. He was active last week. He seemed to be trying hard, but he just couldn't get the ball and the shots at goal as normal. Is he one that is important for East to break out and give him that second target today?
Who?
Watson-Searle.
Well, we just said it 5 minutes ago. What do you want me to tell everybody again?
No, I was just saying the importance of him. He may actually get some latitude because Smith will cop plenty.
Well, that's happened most of the year. I'm probably being a bit nasty and rude to him, but I've seen Watson-Searle kick a lot of goals against the sides that, well, not the great sides. I need to see him kick just 3 in a final like this today, and that's a pass, mate. And I think the bloke that'll get Zach Smith will be Josh Andrews.
Yep, righto. Now, the other important thing, each of you has your favourite in this game. Looking forward to the votes at the end of the game. Sam Lowe and Cubby Baseley, they normally get 3s when you two commentate. You two could have an arm wrestle at the end of the day to find out where the Hotham Hotel's meal voucher is going to go.
Yeah, I tell you what, I got a few favourites out here, though. You asked Johnny Mitchell. I said on hashtag yesterday, Will Ford. Right, 'cause I love Will Ford. He said, what would you love Will Ford for? I've always driven Falcons, always in my life. No, look, Sammy Lowe's, I love Sammy Lowe. But
It'll be a long day.
There's a heap of players out there that I really, really love, and probably none more than Quinny. Right, he'll probably be the worst player that runs out there today and might finish up with the 3 votes, Quinny. Great plumber. I think footy's not his go. But, no, look, you wander around and talk to them before the game, these blokes. They're terrific, terrific kids, all of them. Don't worry about that. And you talk to the East Geelong boys and you walk away and you think, gee, I hope they win. Then you run into kids like Josh Andrews and you walk away and you think, gee, I hope they win. They're just a great bunch of kids. There's a lot of favourites out there. But Cubby Baseley, he just keeps going and going and getting better and better and better and better. He's an absolute champion.
He is. He's one of my favourite players to watch, and great to see him get in the team of the year during the week in the back pocket. He just controls that position so well. Beautiful kick of the foot. He rarely wastes a possession, and he's going to be an important part. And East sort of backed their entire defensive unit on that of winning the ball and controlling it with short passing and clever disposal. That's the strength of their game to set things up. And the two sides are similar, but Dale, you're quite right. The last few times they've met, Belpost Hill have certainly given them a lesson on how to play it best.
Yeah, they have. And as I said, Rob, I think the last time I saw them at East Geelong, that was a day I really thought that they had their. I actually thought that they'd lower their colours, but as I said, they just found and they keep finding something just to get themselves up and over the line.
Yeah.
So it'll be important that Andrews, Jones, Bryans, those sort of blokes, Jet Herman, those younger blokes in the thing, they provide that run that they can do. And as I said, they've got the ability to cut up anyone's defence or attack along the way doing so, and it's going to be very important that they do play well. Andrews has played a little bit of game forward and back over the previous couple of times we've seen him. So, again, they've got some options they can use. And having Dan Maher back in the side, obviously he's going to be a fill-in for Dan Staggard. So, or Braden Staggard, yeah. So he's probably an important out because I thought he's been quite good most of the time we've seen him during the course of the season.
Well, we'll go back to the studios because Robert Eagles is going to tell us which of our favourite sponsors is going to cover off on this first quarter in the first semi-final here at St Albans. All towns and all clubs have great supports from them. So let's support ours. It's the Common Nafeen in the east. It's the Yards in the north. And it's the Hotham Hotel in the middle. And we'll be presenting the Hotham Hotel Player of the Day.
The west.
West, is it?
West Geelong.
West Geelong. Okay. The middle of the other two, though, I meant. Yeah. If your cars run out of petrol, you've got somewhere to stop. We'll be presenting the Hotham Hotel Player of the Day. It was, I presume, Luke Wilson yesterday?
Yes.
Just.
He polled 9 votes out of 9.
Oh, did he? Well, there you go. We'll be watching out for that today. Bailey Wall is going to join us through the day for some commentary. He's in pre-season training because he's got a bit of work to do over the next few weeks, culminating in the second 18 grand final here on grand final day. Bailey, you sort of joined the team last year. You've had a bit of fun with it. How are you enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it. I'd like to be here a bit more, but I'm enjoying it. It's a different league to what I'm used to watching, obviously coming from the Ballerine League, but I'm really enjoying it, getting to know each and every team and each and every player, and I'll continue to enjoy it over the next few weeks, Rob.
Excellent. And speaking of Ballerine, Drysdale beat Barwon Heads yesterday. They will play Torquay in the Ballerine Grand Final next week. And St Albans, the side that Grubby rode off 3 weeks ago, South Barwon, I should say.
St Albans.
I'm at St Albans.
Wouldn't win another game.
South Barwon wouldn't win another game 3 weeks ago. They're now playing in the second semi-final next week against St Mary's. May win the flag. And
of course
Newtown
you enjoy it better
Leopold.
in here anyway. You're not going to get King Ed in here.
Of course, I'm not going to get knocked out in here. You're not wrong there, Grubby.
Well, never mind. Grubby does get a bit fiery at times.
Hey, well, that's why I'm over here.
Smithy was a Sun Kick champion, Geelong champion. Next thing you know, he'll be the Victorian light heavyweight boxing champion.
Well, he may have played footy for Victoria in under 16s and also played cricket for Victoria in under 16s. Did you know that, Grubby?
Oh, I love the bowl. I'd love the bowl. He wouldn't last an over.
Righto, the ball's in the middle of the ground. The umpire has it, and Dale Smith is going to take us away in this second semi-final.
Going to have to do that without the memorial clock because he's forgotten it today. The bloke, and he's the ball in the middle of the ground, and Ren Levitt hands and knees, tries to get the ball out, goes not too far, picked up by Andrews. His kick was travelled about 3 metres. Now it's gone outside, leading in the race for the ball, and Mark will be taken out there by Beardsall. Beardsall now has the ball. On centre wing, far side of the ground, and also Harris Monahan's in the side today, and he wasn't on that my team sheet, so someone else has come out of that East Geelong side as well. So the ball goes into the half forward line, basically picks the ball up, got the handball away, freed up. Whitney needs to pick the ball up, does so now, goes to Yates, back inside to Basely, handball wasn't good. He's gone back and collected it, put it up and put it down, was thrown to the ground, but the umpires let play roll on, picked up by Lemper. They run the ball across the half back line. Ball is now further afield, and it's going to be picked up, and a free kick has been given, and I'm not too sure who it's been given to, but it's going to go back, and looks like Timmy Barton is going to be the recipient. So Timmy Barton now with the ball just outside their forward 50. And he will go back and look to put the ball deep into the attack of Bell Post Hill. That's what he does now. He's got a player that's got out the back, and no McNamara, I think, drifted down, is it? And he has taken the mark, and he is going to go back and shoot for goal. So that was a good groin tester, if that's the issue he's had. And he's moved very nicely to the forward line there by McNamara, has taken the ball 25 out and directly in front, and go back and kick Bell Post Hill first of the afternoon. So Bo McNamara now from directly in front, steps in. His shot at goal is okay. He has put them on the board very, very quickly. And Bell Post Hill move to that one solitary goal. East Geelong are yet to score. And I reckon we've gone just over 2.5 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
I'll just keep me on. I don't know whether he's drifted down or this looks like him coming back now. I thought he might have, wasn't sure whether he drifted down or whether he's actually starting up forward. But that looks like him coming back down to the back line now. So he's still got to be a bit wary of that. If he's going to go forward, somebody's got to go with him, because you can't let a player of his ability drift into the forward line. I had a look around. I'm pretty sure it's Josh Andrews is on Zach Smith. By the looks of it out there. Is that him in it, Smithy?
So, sorry, mate, I missed
Josh
that.
Andrews on Jack Smith. Zach Smith.
Yes, mate. Yes, you're right.
I'll tell you what.
So ball back in the middle of the ground, and once we go again, Yates again strips the ball out of the middle and then just bangs it on the boot, going forward quickly. Forward out in front, picks the ball up, got eluded the tackle, put it out towards Barton. He runs onto the ball, couldn't pick it up. He's got support out there. I think that's Willie Kerrins. Ball at ground level again now. So Bell Post still there, working pretty hard to keep it in their forward line. They've been able to do so. Tackle was laid there from Mulville. And it's going to be a ball up inside forward 50. So Ren Lovett, he's going down to do the ruck work. Taps it back to a dangerous position. Again, ball picked up. Bell Post Hill was turned over though. McIntyre emerges with the ball. Handballs outside. Puts Sam Lowe under a fair bit of pressure. He's tackled and no prior opportunity there. The ball will be thrown up by the umpire. And I'm just trying to find out who else I've got in this side that shouldn't be.
By the way, there is a clock on the scoreboard, you know.
Yeah, that's right, but that's nice to work with our own. Eric's very affectionate and it's been ticking over for some time.
You're trying to be stupid like me.
So the ball is now back in the middle of the ground. Monahan picks the ball up, goes outside by hand. They run from the half-back line and kick towards centre wing. Smith out in front. Good air of hands. Yes, that was out in front of Andrews. He's taken the mark. So Zach Smith decides to play on, goes looking for his mate. Kick was poor. Only as far as Flaccavento back in towards McNamara. He's taken off the ball, picked up by Andrew. He puts boot to ball. Bell Post Hill with all the numbers back, so it's going to be a race on. Flaccavento will be the first to arrive, you would think. He gets there, keeps the ball in front of himself. Mulville's also done nicely, put a bit of pressure on. Ball will go over the boundary line. We will have a throw in. So as we go over 4 minutes, as we said, Bell Post Hill are one straight goal. East Geelong are yet to score.
This is a very, very good start, as we expected. Both sides really going hard, trying to get that balance at the start of the game. So the ruckman go up, Lovett gets most of it, but doesn't go too far. Comes out of the back of the pack to Bashley, gets it across there to teammate, and he quickly kicked forward. But coming out there to take the mark for East Geelong is Ryan Lemper. Lemper kick comes inside. That's a short pass, and it finds Big Izard for East Geelong. Centre half forward, Grubby demanded him to take some marks. That one was on his chest on a lead, but he's got himself a shot from goal. For goal, probably about 35 metres out on a slight angle. Kicking to the southern end of the ground. There's a slight breeze that's blowing straight across the ground, so there's absolutely no effect whatsoever on the game. So Caleb Izard has a chance to square things up. We're coming up to 5 minutes into the Fairhaven Homes first quarter as the ball leaves his boot. It's long, it's straight. His teammates are delighted, so is he. First blood for the Eagles, 1 goal each, and we're at the 5-minute mark of the Fairhaven Homes first quarter.
Give it a face, that's all there is.
Yeah. Even try the cans on. We've actually been looking for the bloke, Harris Monahan is playing, and we're looking for the bloke to come out, but it's Lowndes, who
was very good last week.
I thought he was terrific last week. I know he came in and had last notice, but he's gone out at last notice, and I tell you what, I thought he was good last week, Smith, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought he was okay myself. Him and Bartel, actually. Bartel wasn't bad either. He missed out yesterday as well, or today.
Yeah.
So back in the middle. Rob, you can...
Oh, yeah, love it. Gets the ball down and it kicks it off the ground by Yates. Goes forward, coming through there for Bellpost Hill. Ma kicks it further forward. Quick hand by Ford. Gets it across to Harmer. Harmer to Whitney. Fantella gets that, kicks it into the pocket. Punched away at the last minute and over the line. Player there. I know the umpire is going to pay a free kick for chopping of the hands. I think that'll go to Herman, is it? No, it's
Daniel Maher, I think.
It's Ma again. So Ma into the side today. Missed out last week, but he's been brought in with a couple of key players out. So it's Ma deep in the forward pocket. He's 40 odd metres out. Kicks long. It's just going to drift to the left. One behind only. 1-1-7 Bellpost Hill. East Geelong 1 straight goal. And that is 6.5 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter.
It's not Lowndes either.
Ali Mars back into the
It's not
side this
Lowndes.
week after a long layoff. Beautiful kick
not
from
there.
him out on
Oh,
centre
I
wing,
think
just over the head of his teammate there. Backing up for Bellpost Hill there was Quinn. Gets it across into the middle of the ground, but intercepted by East Geelong. They go forward, looking for and Watson Searle. He can't take the mark, but he's got a hand pass back now, and he's away with a bounce on the left foot, kicking into that dangerous spot. Bo McNamara can't hold the mark. Ball hits the ground, coming through is Izard again. He's tackled, loses possession of the ball. Huey Menzies kicks quickly, comes off the hands of the pack, goes through for one behind only. So scores are levelled up. It's 7 each at the 7-minute mark. How coincidental. Fairhaven Homes first quarter.
How coincidental.
Notice that? Sevens everywhere.
All the sevens.
So Baseley has it in the back pocket. Or is that at full back, actually, waiting to bring the ball in. He's found a man way out on the half-back flank on his own and taking a mark there. Dylan Whitney. Whitney's low left footer. Doesn't hit the mark, but Fantella gets a left foot kick away, but the umpire said it was over the line before it hit the foot. And we'll have a boundary thrown literally right in front of the commentary box here. This is the closest the game's going to get to us. So, Dale, you better take over, I think.
Oh, that's good timing, Rob. And the ball now back with the umpire now, and he's just about to throw the ball in. McLennan doing the ruck work against Ren Lovett. Lovett gets front position. Yates takes the ball and taps it forward only as far as Sam Lowe, and Lowe goes back to the half-forward line. Coming out basically. He didn't go. Did they have the ball? The ball's got back over the boundary line, so we're going to have another throw, which will take place. Umpire about to take possession.
He's given away a free kick to to Caleb Baseley, who just gave him a mouthful for not giving that push in the back decision, and the umpire said, well, here, cop this, cub.
So Benny Crombie now has the ball, goes short towards the big fella in Ezard, didn't take the mark. Umpire said, don't know what the umpire said, but he tipped the ball quickly over the top. Mark has been taken there by Huey Menzies, so Menzies will go back and have a shot at goal.
Do you reckon he chopped the arms or hit the ball?
Oh, I thought he got the ball.
So did I.
Yep, anyway, he's paid the arms.
Yes, so Huey Menzies with an opportunity now to put East Geelong in front. What margin we have, we won't know, but Huey Menzies steps in now, kicks that goal, looks okay off the boot, looks very good off the boot, and it is straight through. So Menzies gets his first of the afternoon, and the second for the East Geelong side. They move to 2-1. Bellpost still a 1-1. 9 minutes gone. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Keeps going like this, Bailey. We could have a cracker like we did yesterday, mate.
Well, the way it's going, Dale thinks that Bellpost Hill are going to win convincingly, but...
No, I didn't say that.
Well, not convincingly, but East Geelong has started pretty well. 2 goals, 2 quick early goals in the first 10 minutes.
If there is a wind advantage, it's probably going to the end that East are kicking to, and obviously remiss of me again. The umpires today, Daniel Wilson, Josh Brown and Jack O'Neill, and I hope they do a great job like they did yesterday, the boys.
Lovett wins the tap out, picks it up himself. He's tackled immediately, though. Jack Yates gets the crumb, but breaking out of the middle there is Lemper. He was down a bit in the last week, but a great last quarter. He started off well today. Couple of possessions already. The umpires found another free kick, and it's going to be Jake Watson-Searle, who was held when he was trying to get that crumb off the pack. So Watson-Searle now, a bit far out to score, but he's going to put it right in the hot spot. He'll be looking for Izard, gets a hand to it. Menzies, quick snap across the body, but just a little to the left. One behind only. East Geelong 2-2-14. Bellpost Hill 1-1-7. 10.5 minutes into the Fairhaven Homes first quarter. And Baseley again quickly for Bellpost Hill. Looking for a teammate. That's Barton out in the half-back flank. Punched away from him, over the line, out of bounds, throw in about 60 metres out from East Geelong's goal. Bellpost Hill trying to get it out of this danger zone as quick as possible. They're 7 points behind, but very early days. We found out how quickly games can change. With a goal or two in a hurry. McLennan very neatly get it down. His teammate can't control the ball. Comes over the back of the pack. Inside to Hoff.
Kicked too quickly.
Kicked it too quickly. Missed everything out in the full forward pocket. And it will be Sam Quinn, Grubby's favourite from Bellpost Hill, who'll win the possession. He's going to kick long down the line, looking again for a pack of players. Heap up. No one can get away from the pack. Players tackling, bobbling about. Young Bryans gets it out to Lovett. Hand pass inside, but it's intercepted by Lemper. Lemper gets a long hand pass to McLennan. He kicks long into the forward line. Izard takes a second grab. Hand passes quickly to Smith. He kicks across his body. Bashley's waiting underneath it and will take a chest mark right in the back pocket. Try and relieve the pressure again. Normally a great user of the ball is Cubby. Made the team of the year in the back pocket, and that's a beautiful pass as normal finds Matty James at true centre half back. James clear now. Takes the regulatory 2 bounces in the first 7 metres that he runs. Kicks it quickly out, half back flank, and finds Andrews. So Andrews now waiting to find an option. Goes long down the line. Lovett's underneath it. He goes underneath it. Wins it back. Crawling away on the ground. Caps it out into the advantage of Harmer there. He can't get away from the pack. No, it was Costello. Ball kicked quickly forward to Bellpost Hill. Ali Mas overruns it. Nick Costello gets a quick kick forward towards his brother. He's running onto it, but East defenders very neatly come out, control the ball. Get it into the middle of the ground where Simmons has it. He kicks long down the line looking for Izard. He's worked out of the road. It's Tom Cordner-Mast does a great job to win the ball back. Hand pass by Izard to the running teammate there in Simons. He has a shot at goal away to the right. One behind only. 2-3-15 East Geelong. Bellpost Hill 1-1-7. 13 minutes. Fairhaven home first quarter.
I'll tell you why he takes those 2 bounces early, because it helps him balance himself. Craig Bradley was like that. Balance himself by bouncing it.
So the ball from the kicking position goes to the back pocket. Flaccavento has it. This is Jordan. And he's just holding things up now. East Geelong have covered their path out, so he's going to have to go straight down the line. McNamara will be the option he's going for. Ball from behind from McClellan. Taps the ball over the boundary line. He's going to have a throw in right in front of where we sit.
Yates was trying to tap that to me, I reckon.
So the umpire now ball back from over the top of us, and it's back on the ground. So McLennan and Lovett doing some more ruck work out there. So ball thrown back in now by the umpire. McLennan this time front position. Both players didn't get to the contest. Picked up by McIntyre. Short kick going forward was good. Mark has been taken. They play on now. Hoff goes straight into the forward line looking for and can't find his teammate in Smith and or Cordner-Mars. The ball goes over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in which will take place forward pocket area.
I'm not sure this matchup with Joshy Andrews. He's one of those blokes that likes to run down the ground in attack. He really can't afford to do that playing such a dangerous opponent as Zach Smith. He has to cover him all day.
So umpire with the ball now and throws it in. Again this time, Lovett front position, taps it back to the front of the contest, coming through. Nice clean pick up there. Hoff gets the ball out the back to McIntyre. Ooh. He went to kick but stumbled a little bit. Got the handball back into Lovett. Lovett now takes the ball to Whitney. Whitney puts boot to ball, goes towards the centre wing. Mark not taken out there. Lemper hands the ball up to Monahan. Monahan through the contest, goes back into the forward line. 2-on-1 situation. Ball gets back. Flaccavento did that nicely. Comes out of the contest and delivers the ball long back towards centre wing. It's going to go over the back, but the mark has been taken nicely out there this time by McDonald. So McDonald of East Geelong will be able to put them back towards their forward half. Mulville comes across. That's Ben, and he takes the mark. Still outside their forward 50. So Bellpost still been able to absorb a little bit of pressure here. That short kick was also great. And the mark is taken by Ezard just inside forward 50. He can go back now and shoot for goal.
Well, you picked East, Grubby. You'd have to be really, really happy with the way they're going at the moment. They're very slick.
I still think they've got a bit of a breeze, but Lemper's getting a bit of it. He's one of your favourites, Smithy. I know that. This bloke, he needs this goal. I know it's a hard one from out there, but he needs this goal for his confidence. He's the bloke I said at the start of the game needs to take a few marks and ease the pressure off Smith and Watson Searle.
So Ezard now to kick. He will kick from 55. If he doesn't take a little bit of ground by running around the player on the mark.
He's going to run too close.
Yep, he does so. Gets very, very close. He's going to have the distance.
Tell you what, though.
I'll tell you what.
Oh!
The accuracy also. That is his second of the afternoon. And East Geelong now to 3-3. Bellpost still are 1-1. We have gone just on 16 minutes, first quarter.
Well, I tell you what, he did run too close to the man on the mark, and he had to kick it high and lift it over him. And I think the little slight breeze might have done the rest, Bailey.
Well, I think the breeze did the rest. But you're speaking of easing the pressure with Ezard kicking a few goals, and he started well.
Yeah, he has, but that's got to happen for 4 quarters.
It's got to continue
for the East Geelong side to progress,
and not just with a little bit of breeze too.
So Ruckman setting themselves. I think we're going to see a change. It is Barton who's given Lovett a chop out. McLennan gets it down, but James tackled immediately when he picked the ball up. The umpire said, "You had it long enough, son." And Ben Mulville is kicked into the forward pocket. Corden de Mars can't take the mark. Basely gets the hand pass from Quinn. He's tackled. His hand pass is straight up in the air to himself. Tapped away towards the boundary line. Desperately trying to get it back in for East Geelong there. Was Huff, but it's gone over the boundary line. They have a throw in. It's about 35 metres around from the behind post. They're desperately trying to take advantage of this time they've spent in the forward 50. No doubt coming through there quickly for Bellpost Hill. Whitney kicks it down the line looking for a teammate. Can't find him in front there for East Geelong. Was Lee. He couldn't take the mark, but he's forced a stoppage, and I guess in those circumstances he was outnumbered 2-1 to start with. He'd be happy with that. So have a throw in.
I reckon the Hoff has been a little bit up and about early too.
He has indeed.
Done some nice things.
So McLennan gently eases into Barton, gets a tap out over his shoulder to Andrew, kicks quickly forward. An ugly bounce beats Watson Searle, but coming out nicely there is Basely, left foot across into a danger zone there. Zach Smith's first to get it. Andrew pressures him. Smith falls over. Andrew gets a hand pass forward towards teammate there. He's pushed out of the way in the back, I would have thought. And the umpire 40 metres away has paid it because the one 10 metres away missed it.
Well, that's when I don't mind it because the closest one missed it, and I don't know how, but the other bloke saw it and had to pay that.
It's Jet Herman in the back pocket, kicks down the line. McLennan over the back of Barton, coming through as Beardsley. Gets a tackle, avoids a tackle beautifully. Hand pass from McLennan to the running low. He kicks forward, but coming out to take a relieving mark. On his own is Caleb Basely as he wins so many of his possessions because he reads it beautifully. And he's got it in the back pocket again. Kicks long and low into the centre forward. Austin Mulville over the back of Andrew, punches it away. Running onto the ball there is Andrew. He kicks into the forward pocket looking for Watson Searle. Evades 2, gets onto his left foot, kicks across his body, but missed it to the right. 3 goals for 22 East Geelong. Bellpost Hill stuck on 1-1-7. We're 18 minutes and 40 seconds into the Fairhaven Homes first quarter.
They've done that a couple of times now. I think they just need that extra kick down the line before they go to the corridor. Otherwise, that was nearly a goal there, and that's the second time it's happened. I think you take the next down the line. Don't go across to the corridor too early or you'll get hurt.
So ball now back with Basely going to do some kicking and duties from the fullback position. He goes short and wide. Mark out there by Flacavento. Played a few of his games up forward this year, but the last couple has gone back.
At least we've got someone in the box that can say his name properly today, Smithy, anyway.
So Flacavento now kicks the ball around the boundary line. Kick wasn't great, but Mar got a hand in there. McLennan goes after the ball. He's got support out there. It's going to be picked up, though. Kick forward there by Mar. Goes back towards centre wing. Yates attacked it hard. Ball left behind by Jones. Yates went back and got it into the hands of Whitney. Spins out of trouble. Got the handball away. Went looking for a teammate, Costello, but couldn't find him. Ball goes over the boundary line. The throw-in will take place far side of the ground.
It's a long way over there, Dale, isn't it?
It can be, yes.
Not too good when it's cloudy. It's reasonable in the sun, but those players are an awful long way away.
Yes, they are. And East Geelong, as I said, not in their natural jumpers either. It makes it just that little bit harder sometimes. So ball now from that ruck contest. James spins out. Actually dropped the ball. Got to be a free kick against him. Andrew decides not to pick the ball up and continue. And it goes now to Timmy McLennan. So McLennan, the big fella, working pretty hard. He's got options through the middle of the ground. Decides to go long into their forward line. Goes towards Ezard. And why wouldn't you? The big fella's been in form so far. Ball taken out of his hand. Picked up there by Crombie. Out in the hands now of Whitney. Handballs over the top. put his teammate under a bit of pressure, and that was Quinn. Got a kick to the ball, goes back into the centre corridor. Mark stood under that bravely. Free kick was paid to him. Now he's got an option wide, and here's the running Jones. So Jones now takes the ball. He's got some time and got some space. He's got Yates in some space. He stopped and went back inside. Put a little bit of pressure on his teammates further up the field. It's picked up now by Herman. His kick was smothered. Needs to get the handball away. Can do so. Goes after it again on hands and knees. But Geelong are going to come from the contest with the ball. Andrew ends up with the handball. Goes to McIntyre. McIntyre short up over the top. Goes towards Smith on the boundary line. He won't keep it in the field of play. It goes over. We'll have a throw-in which will take place.
McIntyre missed Crombie running on his inside then. He had a paddock in front of him. But he went for the kick option. Sadly missed it, Grubby.
Yeah. I didn't quite see it, actually. I was watching it. It was almost an altercation behind the play. It's pretty willing down there. Don't worry.
So ball thrown back in by the umpire once again. Ezard taps the ball down, goes towards McIntyre. Handball's back inside, went towards Lowe. He picks it up nice and cleanly. Off to Andrew, steps around one, goes into the forward line, low and flat towards Watson Seal. Bit too much on the ball, over the boundary line. Free kick. Bell post still, basically again, takes possession and quickly moves it on. Intercept there by Corden Mars, goes back out to Huey Menzies. He looks up, goes back to the top of the square. Wasn't a bad position to put the ball, but it didn't hit the target. Ends up in the hands there of Crombie. He goes back to Hoff. He locks handball outside to Mulville. He goes on the left boot. He goes wide and out of bounds to the full. So as we go over 22 minutes, Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard. It is East Geelong 3 goals for. Belpost Hill 1 straight goal.
One of the things that beat them last week was their disposal. It wasn't up to the Belpost Hill standard. And you know what? It's not quite there yet today either.
East Geelong, yeah, the way they go forward, it's just not. They're not hitting targets. They're just kicking it to wherever they want, really.
But Belpost Hill are giving it back to them here.
Flacavento takes the mark from the Bashley kick out. He kicks down the line. He'll be looking for Jones. He's up, can't hold the ball. Pressure from Sam Lowe causes another boundary throw in again right in front of us, and I'm enjoying the amount of time on this side of the ground today.
Well, you said earlier this is the only time it's going to come in front of us. It's came in front of us about 5 times, Rob.
I'm loving this. That nice little fresh zephyr's just pushing it this way beautifully.
You're not saying he's wrong, are you? Gee.
The ball's been thrown in. McLennan been very active today.
Grab
it. Double hands it over the back of the pack to McIntyre, to Lowe, back to McIntyre. Long left foot pass looking for Ezard. Gets a big chunk of it and gets the second grab as well.
Better.
Lovely little hand pass back to McIntyre. His hand pass is intercepted and Belpost Hill defenders there through Herman. Left foot pass down the line. Nick Costello. Marks plays on immediately. A little chip kick into the path of Marr. He runs onto it now, picks up on the bounce. Long, low drop punt from him into the dangerous spot. The ball is bounced. It's Harris Monaghan who picks it up first, but he's tackled immediately, forcing the ball over the boundary line. About 3 metres from the behind post. Belpost Hill haven't attacked for a while. They'll be desperate to get a goal. 15 points behind. Coming up to the 24-minute mark. This will be a big opportunity for them to get some semblance of back. McLennan takes it out of the ruck. It's grabbed out of his hands by Yates. Gets it across to Harmer. He can't break away. Tackled immediately. Umpire has no choice. Ball it up again. 45 metres out. Directly in front of the Belpost Hill goal. This ball up. And up it goes. McLennan and Lovett back on the ground. Lovett wins most of that. Gets it forward but desperate. East defenders there. One of them is Mulville. He's tackled immediately, dragged to the ground. So we've crossed the 24-minute mark. Quarters have been about that 27, 28-minute mark of on average through the final series. So that's what we're expecting, another 3 or 4. McLennan wins that down. Lemper gets a hand pass away very quickly. The umpire said no, that was a throw. And Belpost Hill have won possession, 20 metres out directly in front. And it's in the reliable hands of
Sable.
Jordan Sable. So Sable it is with ball in hand. He laid that very important tackle, forcing incorrect disposal from Ryan Lemper, who's on the mark with his head down, looking very grumpy, but I'm sure he'll bounce back at some stage during the game. Comes off the boot of Sable.
He's missed it.
To the left.
Crikey.
One he really, really needed. 1-2-8. East Geelong 3-4-22. 25 minutes have gone in this first quarter. Ball over into the schoolyard. Ali Mars waiting for it to come back. He's kicking out from full-back. It's been missed a bit by East in the time away, but he's back now and assumes his normal position. Runs out of the square now, encouraging his teammates to get long, and that is a beautiful long kick that's almost landed under the scoreboard. But Timmy Barton takes a very strong mark for Bellpost Hill, and he'll drive it straight back into the 50. Looking for his options, long and low, ugly looking thing, but it's into the hands of Sammy Lowe. The long sleeves of Sammy Lowe there. He kicks into the pocket, over the back of the pack. Barton grabs another mark. Immediately kicks it back into the hot spot. Players waiting at the top of the square. Costello tries to get hold of it. Hand passes back towards a teammate there in Whitney. He kicks a long way back, but it's cleverly kicked back and it's gone to Tim Barton. So that started with a hand pass in the goal square. Barton has taken a mark 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Well, they had everything else covered down there, so that was the only option that he had, and he used it well.
It's good the whereabouts to think of that, because most players would have been just looking to drive it to goal, but Whitney's always a clever ball user, and now they've got a serious chance at their second goal. So Tim Barton, 26 minutes gone in this Fairhaven Homes first quarter, as Barton on the runway now comes in. A desperate goal for his team. A man who's kicked plenty in his career, close to the man on the mark, but it's long and it's straight, and it's an important goal just prior to the quarter-time siren. Timmy Barton has kicked Bellpost Hill second. 2-2-14 East Geelong, 3-4-22 on the Fairhaven home scoreboard.
Jeez, we saw a couple of goals just before the siren yesterday that gave momentum back to Inverleigh. Bailey, those goals right on the just before the siren, they're just so valuable, aren't they?
Well, especially when they're getting the slight little bit of breeze in the next quarter, Bellpost Hill, and it just completely swings the momentum back to Bellpost Hill going into quarter time.
I tell you what, though, the more I look at those bloody flags, the less I'm saying that it is an advantage there. They look like they're coming straight back at us now.
It does, doesn't it?
So umpire with the ball, middle of the ground. Again, up they go. Ruckman go at it. Ball comes out. Kick forward there. It was nice by Bryans. Goes into their half-forward line. Again, Barton just taps it further afield. Picked up there, Marr. Good pace. Gets through the contest. Dan Marr. That is good for the football. And he gets his first goal of the afternoon and the third for Bellpost Hill. They move to 3-2. They trail East Geelong on 3-4. And we have gone just over 28 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
I don't know how much footy he's played, Dan Moe. I don't think he played the games we saw, but I tell you what, he hasn't lost any touch. That was magnificent footy.
Very good indeed, Grub. Yeah, excellent footy.
Thanks, Bailey.
Oh, well, it was a great. It was a great.
You were looking at me.
No, it was a great bit of play, and just before the last goal, after the last goal, we were speaking about that momentum, and now they find themselves just 2 points behind. 28 minutes gone, so. That's going to be a really, really interesting second quarter.
What do you reckon? I'm cross-eyed.
Well, after the story you told this morning, I don't know what you're doing.
So in the middle of the ground, Lovett wins that, and that momentum continues. Cut off very cleverly there by McIntyre. Slapped the ball out of hand, wins the ball, and on the uncustomary right foot, hits up Ben Crombie, half-forward flank. Might not have time with 28 minutes already gone, but he kicks across the middle of the ground, finds Lemper. He's away now, comes inside, breaks a tackle, is tripped. The umpire pays, but he's got the advantage. Bounces again, hand passes inside, loses it, comes back to Sam King, trying to find his coach. He can't win the ball. Comes away through Hermans for Bellpost Hill. Relieves pressure, kicks it up. Barton's in a good spot and takes the mark. Almost no. Lee pulls it out of his hands. The umpire said, that will be mine now, as Barton tackled him immediately to the ground. No prior opportunity, no chance, no alternative for the umpire but to throw it up.
2 years ago, Timmy Barton would have put Tim Lee in the cemetery.
Yep.
That's love it. A beautiful long hand pass out wide, trying to get Adam Costello on his own. Coming through is James. He does a little back step, gets away from everybody. About to break away with a long run and probably a shot at goal, but the siren beats him. 29 and a half minutes the Fairhaven Homes first quarter went. Bellpost Hill 3-2-20. East Geelong hold a 2-point lead, 3-4-22. Goal kickers Dale Smith.
Yes, goal kickers at this stage of the game for Bellpost Hill. All individuals, Barton, McNamara and Dan Marr. And for the East Geelong side, 2 to Calabezard and 1 to Yui Menzies. Do you want to take a short break? Come back.
Before you do,
hang on.
Don't forget. And after you've seen the rest, come and see the best at Fairhaven Homes.
Beautifully done, Grub.
You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
About 500 metres from the Buckley's Entertainment Centre here at the St Albans Oval in the eastern suburbs of Geelong. So if you want a good night out or a function, give Buckley's Entertainment a ring. Great supporters of this competition, but also sport right throughout Geelong, one of the many wonderful sponsors we have. Dale Smith, Grubby absent, but once again another good finals footy quarter.
Yes, it was, Rob. Both sides had the little passages where they seemed to control play, but Belpo still that last 5 minutes, they got themselves back where they probably wanted to be at quarter time. As I said, 2 late goals, and that squared things up pretty much at this stage of the game. And as I said, so far it's been pretty hectic. Ball up and down the ground. And as I said, that heat that we spoke about before the game, it may have an effect at some stage on players towards the end of it. So the fittest side may have to survive a real torrid final quarter to get over the line.
Yeah, and we talked before the game about the effects of the heat, and it is, well, it's all right sitting in here, but it probably would be 4 or 5 degrees hotter than last weekend when they played, and ultimately it's got to have a bit of an effect. And both sides like to play a running game, so they're going to be taxed come three-quarter time, and it's important to get that position. The wind effect, Dale, do you think there's been any advantage at all?
Well, again, it was a bit like yesterday, Rob. It didn't look to me that there was, but when you spoke to different people, they said once you're out in the ground, you can actually feel the wind, and it did have an effect. Now, the flag's pretty similar to yesterday. They floated towards us and then down to the Buckley's end, but then later part of the game, it seemed to go back the other way again. So I would think that East Geelong may have had, if they had a marginal breeze then, but I don't think it's going to play a big part in the first half.
So Grubby's back. You like what you saw from an East Geelong side, but geez, that momentum swing quickly. Just that Belpo still fought doggedly to get that one goal, and within seconds another. It sort of turned things, Grubby.
It did, and they were real handy goals, because I thought East might have had the ascendancy for most of the quarter, but I don't quite think the intensity's as big as yesterday's at this stage. But I think yesterday we said the same thing, and it grew as the game went on. So I think you'll see that. At the moment, as I said before, we had a great game yesterday, and we're looking for a great game today. And I just think we're going to get it. Both sides, well, obviously there's no tomorrow for either of them. But the best thing in GDFL footy now, as I said earlier, is that there's 4 sides left in it, and there's 4 sides that can still actually win it. I used to not really interested in coming for Sunday football during the finals, because most Sundays you came here, the sides that were playing weren't going to win the premiership. They just had no chance. But this year they have, and either one of these sides who win today can go on and win the premiership.
Good to see East coach from last year, Ben Bosley, out in the huddle at three-quarter time. Obviously good mates with the Marses, played with them at South Barwon, and there's actually 3 of them, because big brother James was the one giving the address at that three-quarter time huddle. So there's a big influence of the South Barwon dynasty, if you like, at East Geelong, and hopefully we can keep that with them all through, because they have had some terrible fade-outs in games, haven't they, Grubby, that it's cost them, but it's important to hang in.
I think they'll hang in today. They know, as I said, it's no tomorrow. They'll hang in. They'll give it everything right till the final bell.
Well, we're about to get started again. Geelong's premier football caller, Dale Smith, will get us going in the second quarter. He's just gone straight past Jason Doherty. And beautifully done.
We live with dreams.
He was texting me for scores yesterday. The player HQ must have been down again.
So umpire has a ball in hand, and a second quarter action not too far away. Umpire about to throw it in the air, and does so now. McLennan and Lubbock, they go at it. Ball comes out, picked up by Lemper. They come from the middle of the ground very quickly into the half-forward line. Menzies after it. The first one there will be McNamara. He put the ball to his boot. Don't know what he meant to do that, but it's going to be cleaned up. And the handball goes over the top, back towards Costello on centre wing. Handball goes over the top once again. Made Whitney stop and get tackled, and brought to ground with an opportunity there. Umpire said there's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go to Andrew out there. So Andrew now looks up, goes short. Lead-up player is Hoff, and he takes the mark. Goes back to Andrew, who is on the run and moving quickly. Little short kick, didn't go too far. McIntyre gets the ball and proceeds to go further into the pocket. Mark is taken by Menzies. Good transferal play, and Menzies can go back now and shoot at goal very early in this second quarter.
When you play footy like that, it has to finish in a goal, doesn't it? He has to put this through. Just for the sake of everybody's happy about what's going on. Beautiful play coming down here. You don't want to mess it up with a point. Kick it through, son.
So
That's what you want him to do now.
He's got one for the afternoon, and
Well,
he's
make
going
it
at his
two.
second. Comes in, kicks that goal. And
Tell you
he
what,
likes off the
I
boot.
tell you what.
There must have been a bit of commentary over the fence there, I reckon, and he said, I've just put that one straight through the middle. He's got his second and the fourth for East Geelong. 4-4. Bellpost still are 3 goals too. We have gone 1 minute 22. Buckley's Entertainment's second quarter scoreboard.
Do you reckon I'm right, Bailey? You see footy like that, it needs to finish with a goal, doesn't it?
Well, the first quarter didn't finish with any goals really, except for a couple, and then that play was absolutely beautiful from the wing from Andrew and Huff. So it's a good start for East Geelong. Very good start, Grab.
Yeah, and they're the two players that are going really well. Huff's been good and Billy Andrews been good. Two of their better players so far. But we've only gone 1:46 into the second quarter.
That's right, Grab. Back in the middle, McLennan looks like he's going to get the tap down. It's get a little toe poke. It's going to be picked up now by, was that Lemper. Now it's going to just float in the middle of the ground. Going to get a little handball out to absolutely no one. It's going to be picked up now by, I think that was Zane Jones. Now through the middle of the ground over to, is that Matty James?
Yeah.
Now it's a little tap on from Daniel Maher out onto the wing, and now it's going to go forward for East Geelong. It's going to be picked up by Ezard. It's going to be wrapped up in a tackle. He gives it a little punch.
Oh,
It's going to be paid.
the ball.
Holding the ball.
Is there any prior there?
Well, he did.
It
It's
wasn't
that
much
thing
of an attempt to punch the
it's when they
ball.
try and punch the ball. In the AFL, they just say play on, but it's going to come up to this way. No one can mark. Beautiful punch down from McLennan. It's going to be now, Menzies going to pick it up. He's going to go on his left foot inside 50, up to Ezard. Ezard can't mark. He's pulled a free kick at the umpire, and it's going to go to Bellpost Hill. Who is that down there?
Flacavento.
There he is, Flacavento. He's going to go back, right into the back pocket. Now Bellpost Hill are going to cross the ground and go out to that far side. He's got a runner on now. Can't see who it is at the far way. Andrews, you're older than me. You got better eyes than me out there, Rob. Now they're going to run Bellpost Hill on that far wing.
Costello to Costello.
Costello to Costello. Look at that. They're going to go inside 50 now through Costello. No one can mark it. It's going to bounce, fall out the back, and East Geelong are going to come through Beardsall. Beardshall's going to go back out to that far wing again, but it's going to go straight up to Andrews, and he's taken a. Is he paid a mark or he's paid a free kick?
Free kick to Costello.
What did I say, Andrews? Adam Costello. So he's on that far wing about 55, 60 metres out. He's going to go kick it right up to the square, I reckon. No, it's going to float up, stay in the air. No one can mark. It's going to spill down. Picked up now again by Bellpost Hill. Tackled straight away. And that's holding the ball. It'll be a free kick to McLennan. In the back line for East Geelong. Just going to kick it up to McIntyre, is it?
Yep.
No, it's Lemper. So Lemper is going to go over that side again. He's going to kick it over to Mass. Mass is they're going to continue using that side of the ground like they have the for the 4 minutes we've gone in this quarter, and it's going to no, it's not going to spill out of bounds. It's going to stay in. And now Bellpost Hill are going to go forward again. Can't mark. It's picked up. Good tackle by Mass. Another free kick's going to be pulled out too high, I reckon. Is that Whitney out there? Whitney's going to go inside 50.
Oh.
Good kick. Beautiful
Good
kick from Whitney to Will Ford. And I think this will be Will Ford's first kick at goal today, I think. Is that right, boys?
That'll be correct.
Yeah, that'll be correct. So, still Whitney. Beautiful stab pass to Will Ford, and he's going to line up about 50 metres out on the far side of the ground. Score is 3-2-20 to 4-4-28. Just gone 5 minutes in this second quarter for Buckley's. So Will Ford is going to come in, slow approach at goal. We'll start running in now towards the goal. Will Ford, and it looks pretty good. That's a goal, first goal for Will Ford for the day. And Bellpost Hill go to 4-2 to East Geelong, 4-4, and it'll be 2 points, the lead to East Geelong on Buckley's Entertainment Centre second quarter.
And that's what I said from last week. The ball didn't come in very well to Will Ford last week, and he had to go up the ground and do other things. But when the ball comes in well, he's the best full forward in the comp. He won the goal kicking, and he showed us there by not only what he did to get the footy, but he kicked it straight through the middle. And that's what full forwards have to do, not only in this game, but in any game of footy you play.
Well, that's all they have to do. There's a beautiful kick by Whitney.
Back with the umpire now, middle of the ground. Ball goes in the air once again. This time McLennan over the top. Andrews ran past the ball. It's going to be picked up and cleared away by Whitney again. Goes back into the half-forward line. Going out there, Barton was in best position, but he let it go to Costello. He looks up and tries to go back to his brother Nick. Got the handball back inside towards Barton. He tried to go off the ground. Picked up there by Harmer. Got the handball away. Again, numbers back there. And East Geelong with some numbers. They will run the ball out of defence. Sam King ends up with the ball. Little chip up over the top. Finds McIntyre. Comes across the ground. He's had to be a good kick. Mulville is out in front. He got the bounce to favour, and now he goes on the left boot. Picks the ball towards their centre half forward position, but coming out, Flacavento kicked the ball off the ground, picked up by Basey, got the handball out the back. Nice work, and goes to Quinn, and Quinn short passes out to Jones. He takes a mark defensive side of centre wing. Didn't waste any time, went by hand to Flacavento, goes round the boundary line towards Marr. Got the ball back on the ground level, picked up there. Harmer tried to force his way through. Might be in a little bit of trouble. Umpire said no, let's have it back. Let's have a ball up. And again, pretty close to where we sit, and we like that.
It's the umpire's ball.
Good call there from the umpire. Let him know it's his ball. Ball thrown in the air, McClellan. And he goes at it, picked up Mulville. Couldn't take it cleanly. And to the hands now. And kicked forward there by, who was it? Number 10, that's Sable. Sable, yes. Ball goes to Costello once again. Back to forward. Got numbers against him, but he's the only one that stayed on his feet. Ball runs back towards the goal square. Just needs to put boot on ball. Does so. Hits the umpire. Actually didn't cross the line, did it? But it doesn't matter. Umpire said it's all clear. So he's got his second now, Will Ford, in pretty close time. They move now, Belpost Hill to 5-2. They lead East Geelong on 4-4. 7.5 minutes gone, Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, you called it right. You called it perfect. They all went up. When the ball come down, Will Ford, he kept his feet. He got in the right position. He read the ball better than anybody, and everybody had gone past the ball, and he just grabbed it or tried to grab it, realised that he wasn't going to pick it up, so he kicked it off the ground. There's two in a few minutes for Will Ford, and I tell you, and I just think, I know I'm harping on it, but when the ball just comes in a little bit better, that's where full forwards, I've seen blokes like Dunstan and Lockett not play well when the ball don't come in properly.
So back we go again. Lovett this time gets the ball down, goes towards Mulville. That's his Ben, got the handball outside to his brother, and that's Austin. He runs from centre wing. Nearly had hands on him, but he's good enough to get away into the hands of Andrew, into the half-forward line now. Ezard, best placed ball. He actually tripped over his own feet then. Tried to be tapped over the back by Cordner Mars. Went back after it. That was good play. Got the handball back inside. Andrew continues to run. Loads up. Goes long and goes straight.
Bang.
A quick reply. And Billy Andrew has his first of the afternoon. And now the fifth for East Geelong. They are 5-4 back in front. They lead Belpost Hill 5-2. 9 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
Finals football, it's fantastic, isn't it? Hey, Belpost Hill get a couple and you just think, oh, you're going to have to get one, East. And not only did they get one, they got one in brilliant fashion. And I tell you what, Billy Andrews' kicking is out of this world. It's magnificent. And when he got a shot at goal that time, he didn't let him down and put it straight through the high, did a little.
You had any doubt about how important Tom Cordner-Mars is to the team? How good was he in that little moment? He strong head over the ball, really put himself on the line to get that hand pass out to Andrew.
Just a shame he hasn't played more footy.
Yeah.
He did. So McLennan and Lovett in their ruck again, and it's going to be a beautiful hand pass out that goes straight inside the forward 50. Belpost still in a great mark. Beautiful mark, and I think that's Nick Costello down there. And it's pretty straight in front. It's going to be about 50 metres out. Umpire just telling the East Geelong player to move up a little bit on the mark.
He's one of the blokes that's probably a little bit of a query over his fitness with his calf. And when the ball goes out and he has to run for it, he does struggle a bit. But his strength and his experience in going for that mark and contest just edges his opponent out. Hard to beat in the air for a bloke who's not that big.
Well, Nick Costello is going to come in now. Shot at goal. It's drifting. That's going to be a goal. It's going to fall in, and the umpire says it is a goal, and they will go now to 6-2, 38 to 5-4, 34 on the Buckley's Entertainment scoreboard. Yeah, 6-2, 38 to 5-2, 32. Grubby.
Getting the ball out of the centre is so important, and they did that well then. It wasn't just a tap over. He grabbed the footy, handballed it, as you called it, a beautiful handball, and that gave him an avenue to goal. And I just reckon getting the ball out of the centre, I know in all games, but in finals here at St Albans, it's a huge bonus because it's a lot. Even if you don't kick a goal, it's a bloody long way to come back to get it back to the other end of the ground.
Back in the middle once again. Ball will be thrown up. Barton's back in doing the ruck work. McClellan gets his tight advantage. Taps the ball out. Lempert hopes to help it out towards centre wing. Andrew had it. And he got tackled high. Free kick will go to Billy Andrew in the middle of the ground. He goes out wide. Goes quickly outside. Crombie's out there. Can't take the mark. Good work, Basely. Little boot to ball. Goes back towards the boundary line. He's got his teammate working with him. That was Brian's. Got himself in and out of trouble. Went back to Basely. Forwards the ball towards Harmer on centre wing. He can't pick it up. Crombie went back and did collect it nicely. Now there's a player being tackled out there. The ball's come out. Umpire said it's going back. Was there a free kick given? I didn't see it. Maybe high. So Sam King, who's got the recipient of that free kick, just right on centre wing, far side. And he goes into their half-forward line. Menzies underneath the ball. McNamara back with it. Good hands. Takes the mark. Very good inclusion coming back into the Bell Post Hill side.
He got a push, Cubby, but it was from Macca.
So the ball now goes back to where it came, out the back. The mark is not taken out there, so at ground level, over the top. A player jumped on the ball. He jumps on top of the bin.
That is horrible.
I don't think that's a free kick.
That is horrible.
Yeah, he did jump on the ball. That's the only thing he did do. And he went to
Costello jumped on him too.
So the ball goes quickly now in towards the centre of the ground. Picked up there, James got himself into trouble and out of trouble. Went to Barton. He put himself in more trouble. Andrews picks the ball up. He's tackled, brought to ground. Umpire said low tackle round the ankle. And Billy Andrew will be the recipient. Good game from him so far this afternoon. Word. So Billy Andrew now goes back looking towards the centre of the ground. Kick wasn't great. Melville will run onto it, but actually got past that player. McDonald now has the ball. He looks towards centre half forward. Kick wasn't great. Standing in the hole. Mark was not taken out there. Marr had the ball. Ball comes out of the tackle now. Crombie couldn't pick it up cleanly. It's going to be picked up. Bell Post Hill. They move the ball back towards their centre half forward position. It's going to come out the back. Lee's going to arrive. Barton came at him. Gave the hip and shoulder. Bandry went at it. He grabbed the ball. Now, he could be in trouble also. But the umpire
Don't think he dragged it in.
No, that might have been the only reason he might have stayed lucky there.
See, with the other one, once the umpire hasn't paid that he jumped in his back, then he has to pay the holding the ball.
So umpire throws the ball quickly in the air. McClellan stays on his feet and gets the ruck contest out. Andrew takes it. He's tackled quickly. High, says the umpire, and Andrew will win another free kick. So Andrew now, true centre half back position for East Geelong and looking to move the ball forward. Beautiful short, but he's got someone just on his tail, so he decides to play on and go to the far side wing. Menzies is going to be the target up in front. Good strong mark. And that's Huey Menzies out in front of Bo McNamara this time. So just defensive side of his centre wing with the ball in hand. Asked to play on now by the umpire, so he goes straight down the line. As adds the next man in line. Ball out the back from Flacavento. Goes over the boundary line. We will have a throw in. So 13, almost 14 minutes gone. Second quarter, it is 6-2-38. Bell Post Hill leading East Geelong on 5-4.
Boundary throw in, far side of the ground. Barton is giving Ren Lover to chop out in the ruck. Tim McLennan at this stage has not had a spell. He's been working really hard up and down the ground. Wins that tap out, comes to the front though, but it's Matt James who picks it up. He's had a bounce. Quick right foot kick into the pocket. He's got a man on his own. That's Herman. Marr. He takes a one-handed mark. Hand passes inside to Nick Costello. Long a shot at goal from him. It has hit the post. The umpire was lining himself up perfectly behind it and whacked the post in the guts. Takes Bell Post Hill to 6-3-39. They're 5 points in front. That's a lovely pass from Alistair Mars. Finds John McIntyre on his own in the back pocket. And a little left footer from him, Harris Monaghan. Inclusion in today's team, runs forward, kicks horribly down. He's looking for Izard. He can't take the mark. Gordon Mars tries to punch it forward. Hoff gets it over the back to Menzies. Menzies hand passes into Mulville. That's the older brother. Kicks forward in looking for Izard. He's wobbling after the game. The ball coming through there. Herman gets it inside and beautifully taken there by Quinn. Kicks it across to the running Barton. And he's got it on the far side of the centre square. Barton now with that unusual kicking style of his. Kicks long and down the line and he finds Marr, who's been very active today. Another late inclusion. Marr kicks right into the hot spot, forward-making position. Coming over the back there to pick up the ball there is Alistair Mars. Tries to find some space, and he has, and he's got Ryan Lemper on his own. In the back pocket, he runs clear of his opponent, kicks neatly down and finds his coach in the middle of the ground. Another pass from him over the top of the intended target, punched away by McNamara, but he butters up. He's tackled immediately, dragged to the ground. The umpire says, I'll have that. And he's right in the centre circle here at St Albans Oval. It's a concept oval here, the home of all the Geelong and District Football Netball League finals.
They had it on their half-forward line and just gave it up too easily, East.
They did indeed. The ball's come back. Kicked off the ground there by Bryans. And it's effective because it comes to Maher. He kicks inside. Whitney's just pushed off the ball at the last minute by Alistair Mars. They're coming through strongly there again is Maher. He gets a quick kick forward and it's found Will Ford's chest. 30 metres out directly in front. And the big man has 2 goals already this quarter. And he's lining up for his third. And this will be give them an 11-point lead. That would be the biggest margin they've had for the day if he's successful.
He just realised what was going to happen. He realised that the Belpost Hill player who had the footy was under pressure and wasn't going to kick it too far, and he actually got in front, realised that he had to be in front, and that's where he got. And once in front, he was never going to be stopped.
So he's got Jaden Fanning on him now, who we haven't called too much today. He's been particularly quiet, one of the important players in the East Geelong side, very much a swing man. He's on the mark as Ford kicks. He likes it. His third, his team's 7th, 7-3-45, East Geelong 5-4-34, 17 minutes, Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter.
Well, we're actually getting into a very danger period for East Geelong here. They got the ball down to their half-forward line and then just gave it up. They kicked a scrubby old kick around straight to a Belpost Hill player. Look, their opportunities in this quarter are limited. So when you get one, you've got to take one and drive it into your forward line. But just to scrub it along the ground and lose it and then concede another goal, they're coming into a danger period because at 2 goals down, that's nothing. But if the Belpost Hill can manage another one or two here, it's going to be hard to come back from there. So they must, when they get in their forward line, drive it long, and they've got to score goals.
So in the middle now, McLennan up. He gets a little piece of that down to McIntyre. He can't control it. Kick forward by Bryan. Comes over the back of the pack. And Beardsall does a very good job. Hand passes out to Lowe, who's looking very different without the long sleeve jumper. He's got the artwork on display here in the sunshine this afternoon. And Tim Barton has the recipient of that short kick, kicks long but wastefully, hits the point post on the full. So that's out of bounds on the full, and that was most unlike Timmy. Normally he'd be either spotting up a player or sticking it straight through the middle, but that was out of character for him. Sam Lowe has the ball in the back pocket. Alistair Mars found him, and Lowe's going to very nicely return favour. So he gets it back to Mars. He bounces. He runs through the edge of the centre square, the goal square. Bounces a second time, looking for Jaden Fanning, but that is a horrible kick. Missed it, kicked it straight into his coach's box. And Belpost Hill win possession of the ball again.
The coach should have a go at him for that.
Should indeed. Nearly hit him in the chin.
He is the coach.
Will Ford is passed it inside, and he's found Kerrins. Kerrins about 70 metres out, a quick kick forward, and Timmy Barton takes a mark right on the 50-metre arc. Distance will not be a problem from him, and I reckon he fancies himself. He'd like to make amends for the previous effort. And this is the goal Grubby was talking about, the one that East Geelong do not need. So Barton will kick from 55 metres. He's on a 45-degree angle. There was a day he probably would have done this like shelling peas. We'll see what the ageing legs are like. More than 200 games with this club. So Barton now moves in, just aloft to the right a little bit. That is an awful kick. It's gone way, way, way to the left. Nick Costello tries to mark, but over his hands, out of bounds, 5 metres around from the behind post. So that kick was about 15 metres from where it was intended. And again, I reckon Timmy would be disappointed with that, Grubby.
Yeah, my word, he would have. I don't think his kicking has been as good as it used to be. So maybe it is the legs.
So boundary throw in again. McLennan gets a double hand down, looking for Andrew. Knocked out of his hands. Teammate picks it up, tackled immediately. No one's going anywhere. Coming up the ball there is Ben Crombie. He was at the bottom of that pack. So it's thrown in again. Lovett just moves Tim McLennan out of the way. Still can't get a tap out. Jack Yates gets it. Lee kicks it quickly over his head, but Nick Costello is first there. Can't mark it, but he wins on the second bounce. Kicks it across into a dangerous spot, looking for his brother. Sam King does a good job. Can't hold the pace. Adam Costello is released, but drops the ball. Tom Cordner-Mars picks it up, evades a tackle, gets it inside to Lowe. Lowe to Andrew, and now they're away. Andrew has a bounce, runs out of the 50. Timmy Barton trying to run him down. The umpire's blown the whistle. He was definitely affected, and we're now going to have a report.
A what?
There's been a report. Yes.
What for?
There's no doubt Andrew was given a little bit of a whack there. And there's a report.
Well, that's a send-off.
We're going to see if there is a card. There is a card. And Tim Barton has been asked to leave the arena. I did see that. He just gave him a bit of a whack in the head, Grub.
Oh, that's a nothing, that is.
Well, the umpire
That's
thought it was
nothing.
a something. So he's having 15 minutes.
It didn't even knock him off his feet.
Oh, it was a... Oh, crikeys. You reckon the game's going soft?
Anyway,
That's bloody unbelievable.
Tim thought it was unbelievable too, but that's what the umpire's done. And Billy Andrew, who had hand passed the ball away, has now got the free kick back. The umpire's finished with the administrational procedures. The book's back in the pocket, the yellow card's back in the pocket, and the game will continue. So Andrew has it now, short pass, looking for a lead, and he finds Ben Crombie, who's just starting to work himself into this game. He was a little below his best last week, and we haven't seen much of him today. Kicks it to his good mate, Austin Mulville. A couple of the younger players making a name for themselves in this team. Mulville kicks wide. Jack Beardsall has the ball now, right in front of our commentary box. His side 11 points down. They're trying to make something. We're 22 minutes into the Buckley's quarter. Beardsall kicks long and low. Izard is a target, but Crombie comes in, takes the mark. His quick kick finds Tom Cordner-Mars. His quick kick looking for and finding Zach Smith.
That's a
and
great
within
kick.
kicking distance for him. A lovely pass. Great strong mark under a lot of pressure from Josh Andrew. And I reckon, hard to tell the difference, but he'd probably be kicking from about 45 metres, 45-degree angle, far side of the ground. You almost back him from here, Grubby. He'd have had heaps of shot of goals from here over his career, being an ex-St Albans player.
Oh, I can't talk. I'm speechless.
Still speechless.
I'm speechless. What is this game coming to?
So Zach
Tell me.
Smith now. It leaves the foot. It's long and it's just off to the left. One behind only. 5:35 East Geelong, Bell Post Hill, 7-3, 45. 10-point margin, 23 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
So basically now doing the kicking in duties, or does it for most of the year. And he's going to go to the far side of the ground. He goes out long, looking for Jones. Actually probably was interfered with there. And free kick will have to go to Jones, I think.
Stages for a 50 and doesn't get it.
So he's just inside their defensive 50, so he goes back to the goal square. That's a dangerous kick. It's going to work out okay. Mark has been taken out there. Herman it is. He goes wider again. Flacavento's in some space. So they haven't gained much ground here. They're nearly back to where they started with. Next kick will be important. He goes back towards Yates, put a bit of pressure on. Monaghan came at him, picked up there by Smith once again, gets another opportunity, goes long, back towards the goal square, going back, mark not taken. It runs through for another minor score. So they are peppering at the moment. 5-6 now to East Geelong. 7-3 Bell Post Hill, 24 gone.
I think the bloke that come out, he might have been Crombie.
Yes.
And I only say that because he's got a bit of a limp up because of the contest. Look at him.
Ball comes out into that back pocket again, so just possession football now for Bell Post Hill. They'll try and get it through to the break as best they can. Ball goes towards Yates, out the back. Mark taken there by McNamara. Decides to play on. Not too sure what the umpire called it. That's a great kick out in front of Kerins. Beardsall hot on his hammer. Harmer's there. Tries to fend off. Got the handball whack to Willie Kerins. Kerins now looks to deliver the ball long. Whitney's best placed here. Ball in best position. Take the mark. But Costello's there. He goes
You
on the
won't
left
see
boot.
him missing
He puts
them,
it around
Gossie.
the left boot. And Nick Costello has his second of the afternoon. The 8th now for Bell Post Hill. They are 8-3. They lead East Geelong on 5-6. We have gone 25 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre second quarter scoreboard.
That little Will Kerins just here. He knew if he grabbed the ball, he was going to be tackled and a free kick or a hold in the ball. A nice little tap and then got it back. And Whitney did unbelievably well against the taller man by nearly marking it but holding it in front of him, which gave the avenue for Costello to run in. And as I said, he don't miss them, Cossie. He just doesn't miss them.
Back in the middle of the ground, and that just falls down. No one gets a tap, but it's going to be Kicked off the ground by Billy Andrew. Billy kicks it out onto that far wing and the chase is on. I think it's going to be picked up by Bellpost Hill, and I think that is Bryans. Didn't do much with the footy. It's picked up by East Geelong now. They're going to take it and try and run with the ball. Yes, he's going to run with the ball, but he dropped it. I think that's Andrew.
Oh, he might get Ed.
He's going to get a free kick. I think that is Billy Andrew, is it?
Yep.
It is. And so now they're going to run. They're going to go inside 50. Kick straight over the top of the head. The umpire's picked out another free kick.
Is it downfield?
No, well, he's paid it to...
Yeah, downfield.
There's a bit of remonstrating, so I think it might have been a downfield, Bailey.
Yates, was it?
No, I don't think it was Yatesy that got him.
Must have.
He's doing all the remonstrating.
I think he's just sticking up for his teammate, I think.
Oh, fair enough.
All right, well,
If it was that, you just don't want to see a little bit of undisciplined football come into the case into the game. You're 3 goals up. Gee.
and they've just missed to the left. So East Geelong now 5-7-37. Bellpost Hill 8-3-51. 26 minutes gone, second quarter for Buckley's Entertainment, and East Geelong, they needed that goal. They've kicked 5-7 now. So it's going to be a kick out from Bellpost Hill. They're going to go into the pocket. And they're going to come. They're going to come this side of the ground. Flaccavento in the back pocket. He's going to chip it up, but not a great kick and not a great attempt at a mark from Moolaville from East Geelong. It's going to be a throw in just in front of the Bellpost Hill interchange bench.
If he had let it go, he might have got it out in the full there.
He might have got something. Could
Little
have
bit
even gone for a deliberate.
Little bit
He
of
put his arms out.
little bit of inexperience.
It's thrown back in. Good tap down by Lovett. It's now picked up again by Moolaville. Go inside 50. And another behind to East Geelong. 5-8-38 to 8-3-51 Bellpost Hill. And it'll be another kick out through Baseley, who's kicked out pretty much this whole game. I think he's going to go over the far side of the ground this time.
Big Ren down the middle. No.
He will go into the pocket, drops, and there is the siren to mark half-time. A 27-minute quarter, Bellpost Hill 8-3-51 to East Geelong 5-8-38 for Buckley's Entertainment. Dale Smith, who's leading the goal kickers.
Goal kickers this stage of the day, and Will Ford has 3, 2 to Nick Costello, 1 to Barton, McNamara and Marr, and for the East Geelong side, 2 each to Ezard and Menzies, 1 to Billy Andrew. So a 13-point lead to Bellpost Hill at half-time. We're going to take a short break, come back and listen to or go through everything that's happened here in the first half and hopefully get a similar second half that we've had already. We listen to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Ed Sheeran fans, we had to cut him off, but I think that was Ed, wasn't it, Bailey?
It was Ed, Rob. You're spot on.
I'm all over
You're
it.
an Ed Sheeran fan.
We're about to get the third quarter underway. East Geelong 5-8-38. They've got some work to do. Bell Post Hill 8-3-51. Lifeline third quarter. Dale Smith, take us away.
Yes, ball in the air, and players go at it once again. And a little bit of a breeze has freshened a bit now in the hands of Andrew. Umpire said no, it was incorrect disposal, so it's free kick is going to go to Bryans in the middle of the ground. So Tommy Bryans now with the chance to put Bell Post Hill further into attack. He goes towards the half-forward line. Good mark there, Monaghan. And he will take some pressure off the defence right at the moment. The ball in between the centre-half back position and the half-back flank. He decides to play on, come wing side. Again, ball comes out. Brian stands underneath the ball. And again, he's been paid the mark. So nice bit of work there from Tommy Bryans. He goes towards centre wing. Mark, Willie Kerrins comes up and takes the mark. Now he wheels. They call the play on by the umpire. Off a step, he goes back into their half-forward line. Marr, who's been good, comes at the ball. Brian decides just to tap the ball further afield. Only as far as McDonald. He's tackled, brought to ground, goes towards the player in Crombie. From the boundary line, he kicks back towards centre wing. Menzies is there. Takes Caleb basically out of the contest. Handballs back inside to the running Andrew, which he's done most of today. He looks across the ground, player in space by himself. And Hofford is. He now looks to go into their forward line. Good use of the ball. Smith comes up, presents, takes the mark and goes back. And will have their first shot at goal in this second half.
See, that's all they need to do. The way they moved the ball from the half-back line was fantastic. And a beautiful kick from Huff into, who was it? Zachy Smith kicked 5 goals the other week.
So Smith now an opportunity. Again, flags now pretty much lying against the poles on the far side of the ground. So the breeze has dropped that little bit. Comes in, kicks that goal. Look, not good, says him. Because I heard his expression.
Oh, no, he didn't say that.
That wasn't a good expression. And it was offline anyway. So 5-9 now to the East Geelong side. 8-3 Bell Post Hill. We've gone just over 2 minutes in this third quarter. So Bell Post Hill to do the kicking in duties, and Kebby Basley is going to be doing that job.
Sorry, I'm a bit late, boys. I tried to find out what the report was for, but nobody seems to know at this stage.
So the ball now with Basley, as we said, full back position, looks to come to our side of the ground, which is good. Comes out towards Menzies over the top. Oh, Mark, that was a nice grab. He's been a good inclusion this
Very
afternoon.
good inclusion, Smithy.
So Marr now goes back towards centre wing, picking up that ball. Andrews to get the handball away. Didn't travel too far, but it's been turned over now. Goes into the hands of Fantella. Ball goes back towards centre wing. Flacavento runs at the ball. He did that nicely. Just needs to free the ball up. He's got a player out. Didn't see him. He's going to go back and collect it once again. His player is still there. That is Dill Whitney forward of the ball. They just can't get it to him. He goes back inside. Nice use of the ball. Actually, it was nice use, but the player James ran over the top of the ball. Now it's going back. Picked up by McIntyre. He's tackled, brought to ground. Pressure is back in this game of football. Mulville gets the ball and he goes out towards centre wing. Good kick in space. Lemper takes the mark on centre wing. Looks up, goes quickly. Comes up. Huff. He was tackled, brought to ground.
Oh, he's gone, is he?
Umpire said yes, he is now. And good tackle there from Quinn, I think it was. And he will be the recipient of the free kick. Goes out towards centre wing. Said his young player in Adam Costello, a bit of a task, but he's got some pressure and some relief there through Basley. Goes inside, good hands, and the mark has been taken by Willie Kerrins. That was a good grab from Willie Kerrins.
Good grab.
So Kerrins now outside there, forward 50. Forward has to be the next target. That's the direction he goes in. Forward is there, positions himself nicely. Lee comes up over the top, can't take the mark. Bell Post still arrive with some support. Mars is taken high. He will win a free kick and take the pressure off the defence once again. So Ali Mars goes across the goal, short kick to the back pocket. McIntyre in space by himself. He's looking to go straight up the ground. Menzies has to be that target. McNamara is right with him. Ball comes out of the contest. Yates is going to pick the ball up. Go to Ren Lovett. Goes back to Yates. Yates got the support out the back, and they use it nicely now, and that was Herman. His kick goes into centre half forward. Marr again taking the kick, and the mark goes short. All forward nearly pinched that out of Sam Lowe's hands. Ball hits the ground. Lowe goes back and collects it. Monaghan runs out of defence. Oh, that was a fresh air shot at it. Costello came through. He picked the ball up, left the ball behind. Ball is hard to be picked up in there as players are putting a fair bit of pressure on one another. It's going to come out of the contest now, and again, probably a high tackle there. Again, player with his head down. That's fair enough. Good call, umpire. And the umpire will come in and take possession of it at about 40 metres out from the Bell Post Hill goal. Ruckman to go at it again. This time ball tapped down from Lovett. Comes out the back. Marr had it in his hands. Wants to pick the ball up. Come back to Whitney. He was in the outside runner. Goes to Fantella. A little boot to ball, but only as far as Crombie, and he delivers the ball back towards centre wing. Again, gets over the top. Smith runs at it. Andrews is right with him, but they go backwards with the kick off the ground. Probably didn't suit their teammate there, but McNamara picks the ball up. Now he's in a bit of pressure. No prior opportunity. We'll have a ball up, which will take place, and Grubby's lunch has just arrived.
Ooh, you
so
little
the scoreboard,
beauty.
5 minutes into this third quarter, 8-3 Belpo still, 5-9 East Geelong.
So here we go from the tap down, a little kick from Bryans. That's Tom Bryans. It's picked up by East Geelong over to Beardsall. Got the hands over to, I think that was to Corder Mass. Scrabbling in the middle of the ground. I think that's Lemper with the ball. It's going to come out now straight to Crombie. He's picked up a little bit in the second and third quarters now. He's playing good football. Doesn't really know where to go. He's going to come just to the left of the box to Beardsall. So Jack Beardsall on this broadcast wing. He's going to head up to the 50-metre line. Have a look up for Ezard. Ezard gets a little hand on the ball. It's going to come out through low, inside 50, and it's not a bad kick. And it's going to be a good mark by Zach Smith, who had the last shot of goal for East Geelong, and he will have another one.
And cannot miss this one. He has to kick this one to get him back into the game.
Beautiful vision by your mate Sammy Lowe then, Grubby.
It was. I thought they might have made a mistake. They had Billy Andrew right in front of us here, all out in his own, and decided to ignore him. He wasn't very happy, but the end result was it was the right move.
So he's going to come in now. Hopefully he can kick this goal for East Geelong, Zach Smith. And I think he has. He's kicked the goal. They needed that one, East Geelong. 6-9, 45 to 8-3, 51. And we have gone 6.5 minutes in this third quarter.
That's what they need to do. They need to get the ball in. So you get away from me chicken, you mongrel. They need to get the ball in to give Watson, Searle, Smith, and even the big fella down there some sort of a chance. They haven't been able to do that, but when they do it, Zach Smith won't let them down. He'll kick the goals, and so will Watson, Searle, but it's got to come in a little bit better, and as it came in that time, it gave him every chance.
The veteran callers are a little bit distracted at the moment with a plate of luxurious food from the Belmont Lions Footy Club, so I'll just continue on. Lovett gets that tap down, but coming through the pack there for East Geelong, Sam King kicks it forward over the back of the pack. Crombie picks up the crumb, gets it back again after it's knocked out of his hands, gets it to Mulville. He kicks into the forward pocket looking for Smith over the back of the pack. One hand, can't get it. Butters up, kicks across the goal into the hot spot. He's looking for Ezard over his head. He taps back, but Belpost Hill have the numbers with Flacavento and Baseley, and they ease it through for one behind. Takes East Geelong now to 6-10-46, only 5 points in arrears. The game's had a little turnaround in the last few minutes. Baseley, back pocket, gets it across, and Sable has it hard up against the boundary line, far side of the ground. He kicks long down the line. Pack of players up at the front, but it's Whitney who gets the crumb at the front. Quick left foot kick, but he goes forward only as far as Sam Lowe. Lowe gets it beautifully out into the path of the running Beardsall. Long, low pass from him, looking for Smith. He gets rid of his opponent with clever use of his body, wins possession, has another tackler to deal with. Hand passes back to his mate, Watson Searle. He can't get away. Sable's got it. Gets it back to Andrew. Andrew to Herman, and he finds Jones with a little kick. They're still inside the 50. Desperate defence here from the seasoned Belpost Hill mob. And Jones now, long kick down the line. He'll be looking for Costello. He come from the back of the pack, marked under 10, and while Harmer kept Sam Lowe out of the play very cleverly. And Nick Costello has the ball now. Plays on, a 9-iron chip. Up looking for teammate, none there. Lemper gets it, has a fresh air shot. Jack Yates trying to burst through the pack. Hand passes to no one in particular. Sable gets it, kicks it across left foot, heading out towards the boundary line. The AFL, he would be pinged for sure, for out of bounds deliberately. This time, common sense prevails, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
You said he handballed to no one in particular, and he did. But he did handball in the general direction where their Belpost Hill players were, and he knew they were there, which was great thinking.
Very, very good job. Boundary throw in now. Lovett and McLennan. McLennan swings Lovett out of the road. Hand passes back to Mulville. He gets to Andrew. Andrew through to Tom Cordner-Mars. Hand passes to Crombie. Crombie inside to Sam King. Sam King's about to be tackled, and that's a great passage of play that Adam Costello has brought to an end with a brilliant tackle. Sam King was away, but just waited a little bit, and Costello had him. Pass out across the ground, finds Andrew right on the 50-metre line. Hard up against the boundary line almost. Andrew now breaks away, kicks back towards the boundary line. A horrible mongrel pass. Looking for Ma. He can't get the ball. Young Harrison Monaghan's in there trying, tackling away. Ball bobbles out again. Lemper gets hold of it. He loses it. Butters up again. But Dylan Whitney calmly gets a hand pass back to Herman. He kicks forward. But Sam Lowe, the reliable, takes a mark for the East Geelong side. Lowe kicks down the line now. Be looking for Menzies, who's done a pretty good job this quarter. Almost takes a mark. Used his body well against McNamara. Andrew does a very good job indeed to win the ball, but his left foot kick goes straight up the chimney and over the boundary line on the full. Tom Cordner to take the relieving free kick.
I have to tell you every week, I don't know. East Geelong is Andrew. Balpost Hill is Andrews.
Andrews.
Thank you very much.
So, Quartermass is going to go inside 50 for East Geelong. He's going to go straight down nearly straight down the throat of Bo McNamara, but it is spoiled over the line. It's going to be a throw-in the forward 50 for East Geelong, and a bit of feeling in this third quarter. 6:10:46 to 8:3:51. Balpost lead. It's thrown in now, and there's Art in the ruck. He taps it down, but it's picked straight up by that was Dill Whitney, and now they're going to try and go. They're going to go back Balpost Hill. Now they're going to go out to the far side, and he's going to go over towards Jed Herman. Jed Herman's going to mark the ball and continue to run. Kicks it straight to Sammy King. Sammy King's got two Balpost Hill players after him, but it's going to be mopped up. Straight back to Sammy King again, I think it was. No, it wasn't. It's going to go straight inside 50, but the Balpost Hill, he's going to pay the mark. No, he's going to take it back.
So what did he pay?
Well, I think he's paid either a mark or top in the arms.
Well, if he's paid the mark, he's done the right thing and brought him back. But if he's paid a free, then it should have been advantage, and he should be up the other end of the ground by now.
Well, Balpost still in the back half. Josh Andrews, number 12, has the ball. And I think they're going to continue to use that far side. He's going to go out there now towards the club flags. No one can mark it. Spilt down, out of bounds, and a throw in on the far side in this third quarter. 12 minutes gone. 8:3:51. Balpost Hill to 6:10:46.
He's made the contest over there, Ren Lubber, but I don't know how. He's struggling a bit.
So ball thrown back in now by the umpire. Ruckman Day even get a hand on the ball. Out of the contest it comes. Picked up there by Whitney on the left boot now. Looks towards centre half forward. Goes towards Kerrin. Ball from behind was good by Monaghan. Ball now runs through the middle of the ground. Jones leads in the race for the ball. Picks the ball up. Ducks back inside. Now he actually got through the contest nicely. Handballs over the top back towards Kerrins. So Kerrin looks up. Goes long. Forward leads in the race for the ball. Great kick ball. Just eludes in. Gets out the back. Yates, will he be the first to arrive? Yes, he was. He kicks it off the ground. Goes after it again. Off the ground. But he just offline. Through for a minor score. And Balpost Hill now to 8 goals 4. 6-10 East Geelong. And we have gone almost 13 minutes in this lifeline third quarter. So Alistair Mars now has their kicking in duties at the full-back position. So Ali Mars now is looking at his options up the field. Decides to come club room side. Kicks the ball and goes long outside 50. Out the back, good hands. Flacavento takes the mark. So Balpost Hill will be able to go back into attack once again. Kick goes in quickly towards Yates. One hand up, couldn't take the mark. Ball comes out the back. Lemper runs onto the ball. At ground level, the ball is picked up, and it's Balpost Hill that emerged with it. The ball goes back inside to Bryans. He's tackled as he went to kick the ball. Picked up by Sam King. Goes back outside once again. Basically, best position. He takes the mark and goes back inside, and he will find his teammate there, and Matty James.
Have a shot.
Probably just outside his range, I reckon. Grub, he'll try and take him on, I reckon.
With the rule now that they've got to stand, you run to the right a little bit and then keep going and run around him.
I knew he's going to sell some candy, put himself under a fair bit of pressure, but he was equal to the opportunity there, and he's got the ball outside, and Jones inside 50. Still a good kick be required here to get the distance. How's that food going, Grub?
Well, I tell you what, I know it's the lifeline scoreboard and everything this quarter, but Smitty, you're going to have to help me. You know why? Because I can't do it alone. I cannot do it alone.
So Jones now, he is lining up with a deliberate shot at goal. I think he will need to kick this every bit of 50 metres. So Jones now comes in. Semi-low standing the mark. Gets every bit of ground he can. Goes long, but offline and through for a minor score. Jones, his first score of the afternoon. Bell Post still moved to 8-5. They lead East Geelong on 6 goals, 10. We have gone 15 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
It's going to be...
I'll go, matey.
Yeah, I'll go, Rob. I'll go. So it's going to be a kick out from East Geelong. They're going to come up to the 2 ruckmen on this wing. No one can mark. It's spilled down, but the big ruckman McLennan gets a kick towards the forward 50. Still on the wing now. It's going to be a 2-man battle, and it's going to be won by East Geelong, and that was Watson Sealed according to Mass. They're going to continue to run. It's going to go in just in front of the East Geelong interchange bench. A beautiful tackle. And it'll be a throw-in. I think it was Huff going after that ball for East Geelong. And it's going to be a throw-in just to the right of us in front of the East Geelong interchange bench as well. It's going to be a throw-in. Izzard in the ruck. It's tapped down by Barton. East Geelong couldn't get that tap out. They're all going at it, they're all scrambling at it, but it's picked up by Dill Whitney, and he's going to be held it for too long. Did he? He did.
Throwing the ball.
He threw the ball. It's going to be Benny Mullerville, just in front of us. On the club room side of the ground, he's going to go inside 50 to Izzard, but it's just over his head, and it's going to be a throw-in inside 50 for East Geelong. So 7 points of difference. Bell Post still lead. The lifeline, third quarter. And it'll be another throw-in. Izzard and Barton in the ruck. Thrown in now. Tapped down by Barton. No one can pick it up. Lemper's there. Still on the ground. Bell Post still plays, scrambling at it. Whitney couldn't pick it up and get it out of there. A good tackle by... Is that Crombie? It is. That'll be another stoppage and a ball up. Still inside East Geelong's forward 50. Tap down through Izzard to Crombie. Crombie picks up the ball, goes towards goal, and it's a great mark in defence by, I think that is Flaccavento. And now Bell Post Hill will continue and go over that far side of the ground. They've been using that a bit this quarter. Chop of the arms. Free kick to Bell Post Hill. Or too high to Josh Andrews. So Josh Andrews on the in the far pocket. So he will go straight up to that far side of the ground. It looks like it's going to be a really good mark from Jackie Yates. Now Jackie Yates is going to have a look up the ground. Plays leading everywhere. He just chips it over to, who is that out there right near the flags? Whitney. He's got it. He's running everywhere. So Whitney, they're going to move the ball really well. Just in front of the scoreboard now. Bell Post Hill just chipping it around. Costello. They're just moving the ball kick by kick towards their forward 50. They go inside 50 through Nick Costello. No one was on. I think that was Tom Bryans, and he's taken an easy mark. Another kick up towards Ford. And they moved that really well from the back pocket, Bell Post Hill, right up to Will Ford in Gate for a fourth goal and try and get a 14-point lead in this third quarter. So he's on the 50-metre line right now, so kick from about 45, 40 metres out, Will Ford. This year's league senior leading goal kicker. He's got a really good approach at goal, Will Ford. He's going to come in now in the far pocket from where we are. Will Ford, he's going to start his run up. Going to come in towards goal. And I think he's kicked it. He has. That's a really important goal for East Geelong. It is go to now. Bell Post Hill. Goodness me. It's an important goal for Bell Post Hill still because they push out their lead to 14 points. And they now go to 9-5. 59 to 6-10, 46. Nearly 20 minutes gone. Will Ford has 4 goals. Grubby.
He's got his kicking boots on today, Will Ford. A magnificent effort. And I tell you what, a big contender this year for the Corio Bay Health Lunch of the Year goes to go to Belmont Lions today. What a magnificent, magnificent job.
And it's still going. So back in the middle of the ground, McLennan and Barton this time. McLennan wins that beautifully, and Johnny McIntyre is the recipient. Long kick out looking for Izzard. Just bounces at his feet. He can't control the ball. Herman cleans up the mess, kicks out wide. Adam Costello marks centre wing. Bellpost Hill in attack again. Short kick from him. Jordan Sable marks middle of the ground. Sable kicks across right into the centre. Matt James, he's away. He's bounced once. He's gone around another player. Short pass out wide. Back to Adam Costello, who's snuck up the ground and made position on the centre wing.
He's been pretty good, Adam Costello.
He's played very well indeed, Robbie.
Frustrating
Yes.
trying to lead to Matty Jones, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, because she goes back and forward, side to side.
Costello kicks up and under towards the half-forward flank. Pack of players punch forward over the head of McLennan, who tried to ruck. Tim Barton gets a quick kick forward. Austin Mulville grabs the ball, cleverly hand passes. Quickly the ball finishes up with his brother Ben. He kicks wide across the ground. And Lee marks. Lee's got Hugh Menzies on his own on the centre wing. He marks. Short pass for him. Gets it forward and finds How, Ho, Hoff, Huff. He's got many different names, this man. He's played particularly well this afternoon.
He's actually only got one.
He's actually only got one correct. Kick long into the forward line looking for Izard's dropped another mark. His efforts dropped off. Izard picks up a crumb. Quick snap just to the right-hand side for one behind only. The 11th for East Geelong. 6:11:47. Bellpost Hill 9:5:59. 21 minutes into the Lifeline third quarter here at St Albans.
I know he's only a kid, and I know he's going to be a real good player, but he's bloody well got to hold them. He's got to hold them for the East Geelong side today. Has to.
He does, and he's missed a few, especially this quarter.
Andrews comes out from fullback. First time Baseley hasn't had a crack at that role. He kicks out wide, and that is a beautiful kick and a very strong mark to Jack Yates. Running in front of his opponent there. Good, strong hand. So Yates has the ball just outside of the 50 for Bellpost Hill, far side of the ground. Kicks down the line. Punch forward by East Geelong. Ryan Lemper gets the crumb. Gets it to McIntyre on his favoured left. Kicks low into the forward line. Watson Searle gets it. Hand pass, but a mob of Bellpost Hill defenders win the ball back. Cleverly there is Quinn. Kicks down the line after a hand pass to Barton to Nick Costello. He hand passes inside to Marr. Marr runs. Hand passes wider to a running Dylan Whitney on the left foot. He goes bang, but misses. One behind only to the right. 9-6-60. Bellpost Hill 6:11:47. Lifeline third quarter, 22 minutes in.
What a let off. What a let off.
Would have been an exciting goal, Grubby.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing for tea, Grub?
Huh?
What are you doing for tea?
Oh,
Kids coming over?
Get McDonald's on the way home.
So the ball's going to be brought back in from McDonald. Goes long outside 50. Spoil from behind. Ball gets out the back. Baseley's going to be the first to arrive. So Vlacovento's put himself in a nice position. Gets the ball. Goes back inside. So picked up there by Sable. He looks up and goes into the half-forward line. Adam Costello comes out. Doesn't take the mark, but again, support's there for him. Ball ends up in the hands now of Herman, who gets the ball high up into the air. Timmy Barton's just got to stand under it. He will take the mark. And from an outside 50, goes short into the pocket. Mark will be taken, and it's Dan Marr once again, and he's going to go back this time and have a shot at his first goal for the afternoon. No, sorry, he has got one for already this afternoon, so he's going to look at his second and try and stretch this lead for Bellpost Hill. Gone back a long way. Umpire said just come this step forward or sideways. No accuracy, the only thing that will be required here. Distance only about a 35-metre kick. So Dan Marr looks to bring the ball as he comes over 50 now. Very slow approach towards goal. Kicks that goal. And I tell you what, he likes it, and so do the crowd on the fence. And he has got his second goal of the afternoon. The 10th goal now for Bellpost Hill. They move to 10-6. They lead East Geelong on 6:11. And we have gone 24 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
You know what I like about that? He didn't kick it too quick. He didn't muck around. He went back. He took his full 30 seconds like he's allowed to. He lined it up, and he just kicked the goal. And that's how you should do it every time. And I think it's just about time for Thomas Corden-Mars to do what I told him to do before the game. Whitney's getting too damaging. I don't know if they've got it. Put himself on him because he's not actually setting the world on fire. Put himself on him for a while and just try and take him out of the game like Young did last week.
Back in the middle of the ground, McLennan gets the tap down, not to anyone in particular, but it's picked up now, and I think that was McIntyre. That's John McIntyre, kicks it up now, and it's picked up again by Baseley, straight out of the back line. He's done well all day. Kicked up to Adam Costello. Now it's out on that far wing. Bellpost Hill, they're just going to chip it up again. Now to Nick Costello, just in front of the Concept Oval scoreboard. He's going to have a look for a few options inside 50. He's going to take on the man on the mark, and he's going to run around him. That's Nick Costello inside 50. He's going to go up to the forward pocket. No one can mark it. Spilled down. It's picked up by, I think that's Beardsall. He's going to kick out to this broadcast wing, and it's going to be Austin Mullerville in a chase. And he's going to take on Zane Jones, and he wins. Now he kicks up to this wing, and it's a good kick and a good mark. And now they're going to play on East Geelong. They're going to go inside 50. It's going to fall out the back. There is Watson Seal. He has been a little bit quiet today. Couldn't do much with the ball. Belpo still been good in defence. It's a good tackle from Watson Seal again. Now it's going to be kicked out to, I think that's Nick Flacavento. And another good tackle and a siren. And it is three-quarter time, 10-6, 66 to East Geelong, 6-11, 47. That lifeline, third quarter. There's a bit of fire in it in this third quarter, but Belpost Hill kicked the only 3 goals to 1 goal, I think it was. Dale, who were the goal kickers?
Goal kickers at this stage of the game, we have 4 for Will Ford, 2 each to Nick Costello and Dan Marr, 1 each to Timmy Barton and Abo McNamara, and for East Geelong, it is 2 each to Menzies and Ezard, 1 each to Smith and Andrew. East Geelong with some work to do, a three-quarter time. Take a short break, come back. Final quarter action is not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
And the stupid part about it is they've almost had the same amount of shots. There's only a shot the difference.
Yeah,
They've had one more, actually.
East have had one more, and there's a couple they could have had time back, but most of them have either been rushed or quick kicks, so it's not as if they've had a huge number of opportunities. They've definitely been outplayed at this particular stage, but they are definitely also capable of winning it from here. It's all about how they want to attack the task. So I'm looking forward to this. Dale Smith, get us going for the Morris Finance final quarter, first semi-final.
Yes, we're looking at 28 minutes of football. One side will say thank you very much. We'll head straight to the bar. The other side will go home, recover, and set up for a match against the Thompson football side next weekend. So siren has sounded. Umpire with ball in hand, throws it in the air, and a big quarter of football underway. Ball comes out of that centre mounts. Sable runs onto it. Lemper tackles him. Ball comes out of that contest again. So now there is a little bit of urgency. Andrew hard at it, and he can't get clear of the contest. Handballs the ball back to the umpire. A replay of the ball up, which will take place this time. It was brought down, and it's Andrew who emerges from the contest, runs and carries. Third bounce, gets inside 50, looks up. Where's the leading player? There he is, straight into the hands of Lee, who is now pushed forward, and he can go back and start things well for East Geelong here in the final quarter.
That's all they needed to do then. The ball movement was fantastic. A beautiful kick into inside 50 to Lee. They kick this goal. It's game on.
So Lee is going to kick from about 35 to 40 metres out, almost directly in front. As I said, not too sure whether he's a forward or defender, but we'll soon find out how he kicks. That kick looks pretty good off the boot, and I think he has scored the first goal of the final quarter. So Tim Lee puts his first on the board. East Geelong to 7-11, and Bellpost Hill are on 10 goals, 6. We have gone just over 1 minute. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Well, could we all be wrong? Could they come back and have a big 5-6 goal last quarter? It's not out of the question. They've been the best side early in the year until injuries, and there's no real excuse for them not to go bang, bang, bang and get back in the game.
They certainly can do it. They definitely can do it, Grubby.
The only thing I don't want to happen is Bellpost will get out of the centre and kick the next goal. They've got to be very conscious about that.
So ball back with the umpire in the middle of the ground. And over at the GDFL elimination final, 72 to the Leopold side. I think 38 was the Newtown score, so Leopold look like they're going to advance, unless Newtown can pull something out of the bag as well. Ball with Yates, kicks round the body, goes out towards centre wing. Jones now leads in the race for the ball, got a bad bounce, but is able to keep the ball in front of himself, did that nicely. Ball runs over the boundary line. We are going to have a throw in, and we will think the umpire saw that as it was.
How many followers we got on the YouTube?
Oh, it'll be thousands. Absolutely
If you're
thousands.
listening to that, make a comment if you want.
We'll get back to that shortly. We'll just do a bit of a mathematical calculation.
Now the ball backs down up that contest. There goes Andrews, goes out to Mulville. Mulville gives a ball to in the hands of McIntyre. He looks up and goes back towards Lee once again. Ball comes out of that contest. Couldn't be picked up out there. McNamara went after it. McIntyre also. He is taken over the boundary line, and we will have a throw-in which will take place.
New record, Grubby. We've hit 1,200.
1,200.
1,200 people
Well,
watching on
comments.
YouTube. Magnificent support for the GDFNL here. We thank you all YouTube watchers. Hope you're enjoying the coverage.
You want a bag Spider? Go ahead. He's not here.
Ball thrown back in out of that contest, picked up by Whitney. He goes long into their forward line. Again, Mars goes back, read that nicely, and he will take the mark. Take some pressure off the defence. He needs to do so because the kick was going out towards his teammate there, McDonald. Couldn't take the mark. Looks to go back on his right foot. Now he sees an option, goes back into the middle. McLennan comes up and takes the mark. So Timmy McLennan gets a handball away to Mulville, Austin. And he looks to go towards centre wing. Low and flat, goes towards Crombie. Nice looking kick. So Crombie now right on the true centre wing. Again, Lee comes up at him, but Mulville runs past, gets the handball back. He goes long into the forward line. Ball, good spoil from behind, comes out towards Andrew. He can't pick the ball up. He's got some work to do. Sable's with him over the top of the ball. Umpire said no prior opportunity there, and there will be a ball up which will take place.
A bit lucky.
So just inside their forward 50. Pretty close to where the coach's box is at here at St Albans. Picked up out of that contest again. McIntyre looks back towards Smith. Fended off the space nicely and has taken the mark. And Zach Smith can go back and look at his second goal of the afternoon and bring the margin back to 7 points. So Zach Smith.
There's a lot of good players in this comp that do that, Grubby. Only sort of 10 in height, but geez, they protect their space well. Brent Jarks is one, Nick Costello another, and this bloke is very good at it too.
So Zach Smith climbs up, and he has kicked that straight through the middle. So he has his second of the afternoon, and the eighth now for for East Geelong. It is 8-11, and they trail Bell Post Hill on 10-6, and we have gone 4.5 minutes, final quarter. Morris Finance scoreboard.
Well, I was going to say they're not going to go down without a fight, but they might not be going down at all here. They're actually playing the best footy they've played all day. And maybe the Bell Post Hill boys, after a big bang crash game last week, maybe they've dropped off, maybe they've run out of gas a little bit. And I'll tell you what, if they just run out a little bit, that's enough. That's enough for a side as good as East Geelong to kick a couple of goals and get themselves right back in the game. And if they get the next one, we are in for a crackerjack.
We are back in the middle of the ground. It's going to be tapped down by Lovett, but it's going to be picked up by the opposing ruckman, Timmy McLennan. Going to give the hands off, tried to give it to King, but there was no one there. Now they're going to run through Beardshill. Beardshill's going to go up to the 50-metre line. No one can mark. Menzies tried. Bell Post Hill again is going to come out on this wing. Menzies is going to put the pressure on Baisley. Baisley takes it over. It's going to be a throw-in. Just in front of the crowd, in front of the change rooms here at Concept Oval, St Albans Reserve.
East Geelong coaching box can sense it. They're up and about. They can sense this.
They are. A throw in again on the wing. Ruckman didn't get a touch of it. And a beautiful tackle from Jackie Yates. And it's going to be another ball up. 8-11-59 East Geelong. Trail Bell Post Hill 10-6, 66. Thrown up on the wing. McLennan taps it down. It's picked up by Yates. Yates gets a little handball out. And Lovett gets a kick straight up and under into the middle of the ground. It was Sam Harmer who tried to take it. He's still kicking it off the ground. Picks it up now. He's given the hands off to Adam Costello, who's going to run inside 50. Kicks up to Will Ford. Couldn't mark it, just spilled on the ground. Picked up by Monaghan, number 4 for East Geelong. Wrapped up in a tackle. It'll be a ball up about 20 metres out from the Bell Post Hill goal.
That kick coming in from Cosy just didn't quite favour Will Ford enough.
It's going to be a ball up. McLennan ran from the 50-metre line to get that tap, and he did. Monaghan tried to pick it up, but couldn't. Nearly taken without it. I think that's Nick Costello taking it. Gives it off to gets Yates. He gave it off to Yates now. Kick up into still. No, it's going to be a beautiful mark, and it's going to be taken by Ali Mas, who he's been good down there all day. It's been pretty good. Crombie's leading up from the half-back line, but Ali Mas is going to go. He's going to handball. And not a great handball, but they're going to go straight up to the wing against towards Ezard. No one can mark. Fisted down by Nick Costello. Picked up and gone inside 50 again, but it's straight down the throat. Who was it, Rob?
Fanning.
He's been a little bit quiet today, Fanning. Now kicked up to Crombie. Crombie, a beautiful. No, he couldn't mark it, but it's taken by Baisley. Caleb Baisley, a little chipping kick over to, I think that is Matty James. Couldn't pick it up. It's still scrambling around on the ball. It's going to be taken high. And it's going to be, it was Billy Andrew taken high. He's going to come out, and not a great kick towards Crombie. Crombie just punches the ball forward.
Gee,
It was 2-on-1. So now it's going to be really hot right in front of us. A beautiful tackle on Caleb Baisley. It was a 2-on-1. Crombie just fisted it, couldn't do much with it. Baisley and Fantella were there, but it's going to be a ball up.
Went to give it to the other bloke. Caleb, I don't know where he was.
So it's going to be a ball up. McLennan Barton in the ruck now. Barton just tries to punch it forward.
Got him
Taps
high,
it
Timmy.
straight down the throat of Billy Andrew, and he'll get a free kick high against Timmy Barton, and he'll play on now. He'll give the hands. He'll get it back again, and he's going to run Billy Andrew. He's going to go up towards the wing. Smith takes a good mark in front of the crowd. He's going to go inside 50 now. Beautiful long booming kick up to the half forward. No one can mark it. Spilt down. The hands are on. Picked up by, I think it was Watson Searle. And it's going to be a goal.
I'll tell you what.
He's kicked it. What happened then? Watson Searle's kicked a goal. Beautiful play. Beautiful kick inside 50 from Zachy Smith. And Jake Watson Searle kicks the goal. How many he's got today, Dale?
That's his first.
It's his first. So he's hit the scoreboard, and they really needed that. 10-6, 66. Bell Post Hill lead East Geelong by 1 point. 9-11-65. Grubbications?
I'll tell you what, there might have been a few people right this East Geelong side off at three-quarter time, and if they did, it was at their own peril. With 1 point the difference and the way they're playing, they could go on and win this. Now, the pressure's back on the mighty Panthers. They're now going to have to get it out of the centre, and they're going to have to kick the next goal. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves behind on the scoreboard.
So the ball back from the middle contest. Gain comes out there. Mulville gets the ball back into their half-forward line. Basically comes up at the ball. Also, him as Smith, a kick off the ground in the hands of Whitney. Whitney goes round the body, back towards Fanchella. He can't take the mark. He protected the space pretty nicely there. Dives on top of the ball. Now he could be in a little bit of trouble. Umpire says, well, he's let it go. The ball does come out of the contest. Underneath it sits, and this time the umpire will give no prior opportunity a bit of a run, and the ball will go back to him. So he's inside the centre square. So ball thrown up once again, comes out of that run contest, picked up. Timmy Barton just delivers the ball and goes long into their forward line. Will Ford tries to protect the space. Harmer picks the ball up, went right, went back on his right foot, exposed the ball around the body, and Sammy Harmer has got his first goal of the afternoon, and the 11th now for Belpost Hill. They move to 11-6. East Geelong are 9-11, and 10 minutes gone for Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
I said they had to get it, and they did. So now the onus goes back on the Eagles. And I tell you what, we might go goal for goal till the end and have as good a game as we did yesterday. It's a fantastic game of footy. The flags have just sprung up a little bit, so that means the breeze is back to favour in Belpost Hill. But I tell you what, even though there was good footy, they do look a bit tired.
Now, boys, I know we've got a game on our hands here, but Dale, since you mentioned the GFL score, Newtown have kicked 3 goals. It's back to a 3-goal margin, so it's 79-63 over there at West Oval, so that'll be one to keep an eye on.
Coming back to Newton, boys.
Coming back.
Newton
Yeah.
and Chibble.
Have copped the abuse of Grubby, and they're fired up. So
Just check their team sheet. Make sure they haven't got an unregistered player on there.
we're 11 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter. The ball's been retrieved from the netball courts. It's coming back to the centre of the ground. I'm hoping to get a netball score because I know a lot of their 1,200 listeners will be hanging out for a score.
They'll be really hoping for it. If they're going to read the netball scores, go and get a cup of tea now.
Okay, here we go. We're back in the middle. 72 plays 65 here. Belpost Hill noses in front. McLennan up against Barton. He gets it down to McIntyre. How often do we call that? McIntyre long into the forward line. Smith at the back of the pack. Punched away at the last moment there by Herman. Coming through
That's
strongly.
a great tackle.
Trying to get the ball was Quinn. Punched away from him. Ball's kicked forward. East Geelong have it again. Smith has the ball put in front of him. He can't control it. Quinn comes out again. The umpire says he was copped high by Smith. And Sam Quinn can't play footy, but apparently he's a great plumber. He has the ball in the back pocket for the Belpost Hill team. He kicks across the half-back flank and finds Dylan Whitney. And the veteran who's been very, very good today, he kicks across and finds Matty James. Runs, bounces. That is a horrible kick, but it might favour his team. No, Austin Mulville's going to be first there. Tackled immediately. No prior opportunity. There will be a ball up. Right on centre wing. We have a really exciting game here. 12 minutes gone now. Werribee lead 12-8 in the netball against Thompson. Ball out the back of the pack. It's picked up by Ben Mulville. Gets it to Sam Lowe. Lowe to Lemper. Lemper goes backward to Mulville, but it gives him a bit of space. Gives him time to kick and kick it well. And
that's what you want to see this big kid to do.
He's had trouble holding it since a very good first quarter, but he's got that one. Kicks into the path of Sam King. And the little youngster will mark inside the 50, probably be kicking from 45 metres directly in front. And they really need this to answer that Belpost Hill goal because I reckon Grubby has picked it right. The health and well-being of East Geelong is probably slightly better than Belpost Hill at this stage.
There could be a change of coach at Newtown next year. I just get a message.
15 minutes left at most in this game. This kick to put the Eagles back within a point. Sam King leaves the boot. His teammates are ecstatic.
Umpire didn't move.
Didn't move. And we now have a 1-point ball game again. Belpost Hill 11-6-72. East Geelong are 10-11-71. We're coming up to 12 and a half minutes. Morris Finance final quarter.
Oh, aren't we just lucky?
Blessed.
Aren't we lucky to come to a final series? We saw a couple of great games last week. Another couple of great games today. This crowd of about 25,500, they are absolutely enjoying it.
Out of their chairs.
And here come the Eagles. They're back to within a point. I just worry if they get the next goal, I tell you what, that'll throw the cat amongst the pigeons, but let's see how the Panthers respond.
Ball back in the middle this time. McLennan up and down, gets the ball down, goes to McIntyre once again, but he will not come out of that tackle because Jack Yates has got hold of him. Ball will go back to the umpire, and in the centre circle we will have another throw up which will take place. This time both ruckmen go at it. Oh, I don't know whether you can do that. Sable's just had a bit of a fade of the brain there, and he's taken the ruck contest. Handball goes out now to Andrew. He decides still we're going to run. Takes his second. Has a look at his third bounce. Got options inside and out. Goes short outside to Beardsell. Beardsell in front of the scoreboard, far side of the ground. Plays on now. Long into their forward line. Lee in best position. Ball comes from that contest. Runs back towards the boundary line. Will it go over? It's picked up out there, but it's going to be run over by Flacavento, I think. And we will have a throw-in which will take place about 40 metres around from the behind post. Again, East Geelong back in their attacking end.
Must be pretty warm out there for some of these blokes with the long sleeves on, Smithy.
Yes, mate. I reckon they'd be feeling it now. Warm in the box, Grub. We've got to shed a skin.
Yeah. Hope I don't have to shed one more. You're sick.
You won't want to see that either. On tally anywhere. Ball comes back in from that ruck contest. McIntyre, he puts boot to ball, goes back to a dangerous position, 20 from out from goal. Watson Searles there, got the handball over the top, went back to Crombie. Crombie with some time, looks back towards goal, and he has hit the post. Scores are tied away.
He could be back here next week.
10-12, East Geelong, 11-6, Bell Post Hill, and we have gone 15 and a half minutes, final quarter.
23 goals to 18 half-time in the netball. Werribee in front of East Geelong. Ball has come with Billy Andrew, who's fast becoming my Sam Lowe Cubby Basely equivalent. He's had a wonderful game this afternoon. He's really been part of this lift of East Geelong. It's Nick Costello, gets it to Ren Lovett. His hand pass is rather odd to Ben Crombie, of all places. He gets it up to the other young blonde fellow in Harris Monaghan. Straight up the chimney, he kicks the ball. Lands just inside the boundary out near the scoreboard. Nick Costello picks up and kicks it inside to Jordan Sable. And Sable will just take some time and try and make sure Bell Post Hill retain possession. Forced to kick long down the line. Not a wonderful kick either. Players getting in front. Coming through very strong. There was McDonald. Hand passes. Gets it across now to Andrew. Andrew outside to Monaghan. Monaghan now to McIntyre. He kicks down looking for Menzies, and that is a great strong mark in front of his teammate. Kicks it across to Ben Mulville, centre half forward. His team starting to show a fair bit of
Benny
kick, looking for Watson Searle on the lead, but missed him, and find Jet Herman in the back pocket for Bell Post Hill. So again, they'll take some time. Finds a short option, and that is Josh Andrews. And no, it's not. It was actually Tom Bryans after all that, and he kicks out wide and finds Adam Costello right underneath the scoreboard, showing 72 each. Just hit the 17-minute mark of the Morris Finance last quarter. Costello kicks long left-footed down the line. Tim McLennan is first there, wins the ball, loses his footing, hits the ground. Players come in to snatch the ball out of the hand, and it's come to Jones. Jones short kick, looking for forward.
We've got to get a free kick, Will Ford, I think.
Without doubt, and he'll go back and have a shot for goal. 45-degree angle, and he'll kick from about 47 metres. And he has 3 for the afternoon already, the leading goal kicker in the competition.
4.
And if ever he had an important one for the afternoon, it's today. He has 4 already.
Yeah, this will be goal number 5.
And let's just tell all our viewers and listeners, if it is a draw, we will have 5 minutes each end. And if it's still a draw, we go golden score.
And if you don't know what golden score means, what does it mean, Grubby?
It's first score wins. Just like the old under-10s practice match. Next goal wins. Not goal, score.
So Will Ford now. He's he's the man on the marks at 47 metres, I reckon. So he'll have to kick it more than 50 to get it home. That is very much a 9-iron, landing at the top of the square. Punched from behind. The umpire has found a free kick. Nick Costello was holding his opponent, Ali Mars, off at the back of the pack, and he's going to win the ball for East Geelong. Can't afford to be kicking along to a contest. He's going to need leading players, but there's none around. So the contest is the option. Long kick down the line. Players go up for the ball. It hits the deck. Crombie picks it up. He's got it underneath the pack. Bell Post Hill players looking at the umpire for help.
So would I
None
be.
coming. So right on the 50-metre line.
I think he dragged it in.
Right on the 50-metre line, there'll be a ball up. McLennan and Barton, and McLennan was held. There was no doubt about that. And a free kick will go to the East Geelong ruckman. Timmy Barton had his arm pinned as they went for that ball together. So McLennan now, he's had another very good game this afternoon. Long kick, lands at centre wing. Hugh Menzies, the man in front, can't hold the mark. Crombie is out of the pack. He's away, long drop punt. Down looking for Lemper. Gets out one hand. No, it's Lee actually. Gets one hand to it only and then escorts it over the boundary line. Score's locked up. 19 minutes gone now in the Morris Finance last quarter. 7 or 8 left at best, I would reckon. Not a lot of action this quarter, so whoever has to break, better break quickly. So boundary throw in now. Barton and McLennan again. McLennan front position, tries to win it down. Barton gets the crumb himself, kicks it long down the line. Beardsall punches away from the pack. That is a great tackle there by Ali Mars, but there was no prior opportunity. One arm pinned, and Mar could do no more. The umpire saw it that way, and we'll have a ball up right in front of our box here. Two big ruckmen go at it again. McLennan gets a little bit, most of it. Coming through strongly there. Barton again tries to get it away from the pack. Austin Mulwell goes in, comes out without the ball, but turns to lay a tackle on Jones. And the umpire is forced to throw it up again. It's a really, really exciting time at this stage. McLennan gets it away to Andrew. Andrew inside with a hand pass to McIntyre. He kicks down the line looking for Menzies. Menzies front position, gets one hand up and then takes the crumb in both hands. Wins the ball, kicks it poorly into the forward line. That's a poor kick. And
inexperienced.
It's the plumber, Sammy Quinn, that comes out and takes the mark. He kicks down and finds Dylan Whitney on his own. Right on the 50-metre arc. He kicks into the middle of the ground. Bo McNamara standing by himself on the corner of the centre square. Hand passes inside to the running James. One bounce. Evades a player. Another short pass down the line looking for Yates. Punched away from him, but Harmer picks up the crumb. Kicks long into the square. Players going back. The ball has been touched at the last minute by Jaden Fanning. Through from behind, but that's enough to put the Panthers in front. 11-7-73. Belpost Hill, East Geelong 10-12-72. Morris Finance 21 minutes gone.
So Ali Mars now from the fullback position decides to play on, had to go wide and did so out towards Barton and also McLennan. Running also there is Nick Costello, leaves the ball behind, picked up there. I thought it was picked up by Costello, but he left it for Timmy Barton. He went back after it again, kicks the ball towards centre half forward. Mark again, not time. Bryans gets the handball out to Whitney. Whitney loads up and goes along, but the umpire's already blown the whistle. It will come back a throw, says the umpire. And a free kick going to East Geelong. Jack Beardsall will be the recipient at centre half back. Just waiting for the ball to come back inside the field of play. Now Beardsall has the ball, so play will be called to go back in. How's that score going, Bailey? We need to check that again.
It's three-quarter time, 3-goal lead to Leopold.
There you go. So now Beardsall, now he goes short. Player comes up at him, but he misses the target. Now the back, Baseley, has taken the mark. So Kevy Baseley now goes off to Whitney by hand. Whitney goes into their half-forward line. Out the back, ball gets over the top of Costello. Also there is Monaghan. Costello did that nicely, but Monaghan's worked his way back in front of the contest. Again, ball now sits underneath some players. Picked up by Costello. Out the back to Yates. Yates screws the ball back towards the goal square. It goes over the top, and it has gone through.
Bang.
So Jack Yates has put them up by 7 points. Belpost Hill 12-7 now. Lead East Geelong 10-12. And we have gone almost just over 22 and a half minutes, final quarter.
Nothing looked like it was going to happen there for a while, and all of a sudden, the captain makes it happen. And that's where he comes in. I know Joel Bennett was captain of the year. This bloke was just as good a captain. And our captain's goal at that stage of the game is just, it's just valuable. But again, I know I've been saying it. It's back to the Eagles. It's back in the balls, back in their court. They've got to get this out of the centre, and they've got to get it down for a goal.
So in the middle we are. McLennan, he's going to lead this charge. He gets up the back looking for McIntyre, but misses him. Matt James picks up the ball. Hand passes this time, and that's effective. He hits Whitney, and Whitney goes forward and hits Flaccavento, and a long kick from him looking for Yates, who just kicked the last goal. He can't handle it. Punched away by McDonald. Over the boundary line, we'll have a throw in. Still very much in the danger zone for East Geelong, though. They now trail by 7 points, coming up to the 24-minute mark. They need to get into action very, very quickly. They're a long, long way from where they need to be. McLennan at the front, misses both ruckmen. Jaden Fanning wins the ball. Hand passes up in the air. McLennan gets the crumb. He kicks down the line. Players coming forward. Basely takes a bit of a punt, kicks it off the ground. It goes
That's
forward,
a mark,
though,
I think.
and the umpire is going to pay a mark.
Daniel Marr
And it's
again.
going to be a mark to Marr. He went up over the pack there. Wouldn't quite work out how he could work that out, but he did it pretty deliberately. You blokes seem to see it.
Yeah,
but,
he got the first bite, and no one was able to come and spoil, and he got the second bite. And as you said, Smithy, early, he's been a valuable inclusion to this side today, Mari.
He certainly has, and if he kicks this, the fat lady is singing as far as I'm concerned. So, Marr, 45 degrees. We're directly in line from our commentary box to where he'll be kicking to the southern end of the ground. He's taking all of his 30 seconds, like he did last time.
Yeah,
He goes
in
back.
the league coach box complaining, but there's no complaining. He's allowed 30 seconds.
He most certainly is. He's going back now, that same deliberate slow run up, and he's kicked it
Missed
to
it.
the right. It
He's
stayed
missed
to
it.
the right, and he's missed it. So 8 points is now the margin. 25 minutes. We're approaching Morris Finance final quarter. Dale, bring it home, son.
Yes, no ball, no time to be wasted now. East Geelong must go, and that's what they're doing. Beardsville bound the half-back line and found Sam Lowe just outside their defensive 50. He looks up, goes short. Again, Lemper comes up at him, takes the mark. Lemper now. Just, I'm not too sure what he needs to take too much time.
No,
but
he hasn't
needs
got
to keep
the
thing.
time.
So the ball goes round the boundary line. Good, strong mark there from Lee. So he's called the play on now by the umpire. Stopped, propped, put himself under pressure. Got the handball away to Andrew. Andrew runs, carries, handballs over the top. We'll get the 1-2
Give it
from
back.
Mars. Now James is after him, but he delivers the ball. Goes in long. McNamara just positions himself
saw that,
nicely.
didn't
He had unfolded, and he's going to take a bit of time now. A bit of cramp, old Bowie. It's a bit of experience.
Oh, turn it up, Bowie.
So McNamara now kicks the ball back outside 50, goes towards Barton, comes up
Good
with the ball
kick.
and takes the mark.
Slow
Again.
it down now, boys.
So Bellpost Hill with possession of the ball. Timmy Barton called the play on now by the umpire, so he decides to go long and towards the half-forward line. Out the back, the ball will come into the hands of Costello. Got through one, handballs over the top. In good hands now with Dill Whitney. Looks up, goes forward. Yates out in the lead. Good work, McDonald. Over the top, bangs the ball back towards the boundary line. Picked up, run over the boundary line. Had a throw in just outside. Forward 50 for Bellpost Hill.
It's 26 minutes gone. East Geelong are going to have to score twice here.
Yep, and I think
Next couple of minutes is going to be...
we'd have 3
Not
minutes.
really. If they kick points, they've got to score about 7 times.
Yeah. So I reckon 3 minutes at best for them. Ball thrown back in by the umpire. Out the back, ball will come. Lemper takes it. Little handball was good to McIntyre. Gets the 1-2. He was held on to. And he's going to have to go back and now and set up from behind, so he doesn't waste any time. Player out by himself. Mark is going to be taken out there. Oh, he nearly took a couple of steps there, Fanning. Decides to go across the ground. Sammy Lowe into some space by himself, and again, some time now being taken up. They go short. Good possession footy. And in the hands now of Crombie. But he's still just the middle of the ground. Decides to play on now and run and kick long into their half-forward line. In front, Huey Menzies. They're behind Bowie McNamara. Ball's held up in that contest. Umpire says, let's have it back. We'll have a ball up. So right inside the forward 50,
How did
half-forward
Bo
line.
McNamara get to that spot from where he was?
Not too sure.
Oh,
Long way to look
oh,
from here.
Unbelievable. He was behind. He got round in front of him.
So umpire throws it up. Again, ruck contest. Barton outside. Ball ends up there in the hands. I think that might have been Whitney. Goes outside to Barton. So Barton's in some space now. He will load up. Goes
James.
long down the field. Good mark out the back. Not taken there. Again, Monaghan leads in the race for the ball. Leads Costello. Costello lunged at him. Couldn't hold him up. Mars has it. And that's Ali Mars. A high kick going back towards centre wing. Mark again not taken. Free kick being given. Bell post still way. Daniel Marr once again. So Dan Marr with the ball defensive, or just attacking side of centre wing. Goes backwards. I'm not too sure why you would go back and give
just to
East
save some
Geelong.
time.
Well,
Just
it can
the time.
save some time, but East Geelong, it said ground and taking ground is all what's counted here.
Yeah, but they've got to kick 2, Smithy.
So Baseley now, he decides to go back to the half-forward line. Mark, will it be taken? No, it won't. Front of the front contest picked up. I think that was Brian's. Booted the ball back into their half-forward line. Races on, going at it. McDonald, ball gets through the contest. Fanning has to pick the ball up. Can't do so. Taps it towards the boundary line. It goes over, and we are going to have a throw-in which will take place about 5 metres around from the behind post. Bell post Hill still deep in attack, and with 28 and a half all gone, It's not too much time left in the game.
Longest quarter of the game, or
Yeah, it's got. I think it's nearly done. I don't think there's enough time for the
This has
Eagles.
been the most goal. Actually, the second quarter was a lot of goals kicked. So anyway, ball comes out of that contest, picked up, goes back outside. Beardsville picks the ball up.
There it is!
And there's the siren. It has sounded. And Bell Post Hill will proceed one step further in 2023. They will run out winners 12-8-80. They beat East Geelong on 10-12-72. Goal kickers to this stage, or to the game, has been Will Ford with 4, 2 each to Dan Marr and Nick Costello, 1 to Yates, Barton, Harmer and McNamara. And for East Geelong, 2 each to Smith, Menzies and Ezard, 1 each to Andrew, Watson, Searle, Lee. We'll take a short break, come back, and we'll try and go through everything that's happened here this afternoon, and hopefully have, between the four of us, pick out a player of the day, which we'll be having a nice meal at the Common Fiend? No,
the Hotham.
Hotham Hotel, that's right. Hotham Hotel. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.